I was again, and here I was again. I turned on the PlayStation, and here I was again, and here I was again. I was only
That's how he makes his fucking albums. It's kind of played out. He steals a beat. The same tired jokes against a beat. If somebody from Kiwi Farms comes to me and wants your information,
I might have to give it to him. Depression's idea. I was only. 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 I turned on the PlayStation, and here I was again, and here I was again. I turned on the PlayStation, and here I was again, and here I was again. Liquid Richard is like the generic knockoff of like a Rolex watch. Nobody really wants the generic knockoff of a Rolex watch. This guy goes out of his way to create this music. How does it taste? How does that dick taste, my friend? How does it taste? How does that dick taste, my friend? When I hopped in the lobby, straight catching a body. When I hopped in the lobby, straight catching a body. Mountain Dew coursing through your veins, little 12-year-old rage running through your body. That's not gay, cause today is Saturday. If you have a 2-inch stick, I got a thick 6 cock. I agree with you. Subscribers that stick. We could be at the fucking club. When I get into the bathtub, I get to see the entire bulb of scud. Bathtub filled up with my fucking Wendy's chili. Wendy's chili. Bathtub filled up with my fucking bulb of scud. Get the fucking club. Get the fucking club. You a smooth motherfucker. Mountain Dew coursing through your veins, little 12-year-old rage running through your body. That's not gay, cause today is Saturday. How does it taste? How does that dick taste, my friend? How does it taste? How does that dick taste, my friend? When I hopped in the lobby, straight catching a body. When I hopped in the lobby, straight catching a body. Shout out to Sean Rankin.
This kind of shit needs to be exposed.
I'll take a picture of my cool rapper with my shirt off, with my nipples pierced. I am a racist. Hello, everybody. It's your boy, Jordan. Fat motherfucker himself. Dark Side Phil here. I'm back.
This is low TT God.
I can't even fucking do anything! What is this RES nigga doing?
Let it be known, motherfuckers. Everything was right. Everything correct. I did nothing wrong. I did nothing wrong. Everything was right. Everything correct. I did nothing wrong. I did nothing wrong. I agree with you.
I'm a mature adult with a business degree.
My nigga.
Failed the mission. What? I never failed the mission.
Phil did it. He masturbated. What? Oh, the camera's on.
What?
I need your help and support. Pledge to pay, nigga. Pledge to pay, pledge to pay, nigga. Pledge to pay. 10 years of my hard work trying to raise funds within the next several months to pay my taxes. These fucking trolls financially fuck me over every single fucking year.
That's not my fault. What's the answer, my nigga?
Everything was right. Everything correct. I did nothing wrong. I did nothing wrong. Everything was right. Everything correct. I did nothing wrong. I did nothing wrong. I did nothing wrong. I did nothing wrong.
Run that shit
back. Pull out your fucking card. Yeah, I'm fucking black. Run that shit back. Grab your balls. Swivel them around. Grab your cock. Swivel them around. You're just walking around with two nuts swinging in a cock. And you don't even realize what you got. Go be a sheriff or a cop. You serve no purpose, nigga. Wasting time. Black spook in America. You feel me? Obsessing over another man you never met. Black crispy sweat. Beat me in a sink. Soon as I hop on way, niggas using that Medicaid on day. Okay. It's not my fault. Let's get some more, nigga. Run that shit back.
Hello everyone. He did nothing wrong. He did everything correct. It's your favorite streamer here, I mean Darkside Phil. And today we're going to be watching some fails from DSP trying to report on E3. Now, these videos are ultra mega chill. Like the most fucking chill videos. And I have a lot to say about them because his takes are great, as always. He did nothing wrong. He did everything correct. And tonight we're going to figure out why. Good morning, everybody in chat. Morning, evening, or afternoon, as it's with me. And hope you guys have fun and we hang out. Later on, when the guy starts streaming, we're gonna go and hang out at his place for a little bit. We're gonna see what he's gonna say. And you know, as some of you might have the old racist uncle who never says anything original, it's probably gonna be the same thing. So let's just start up with a small segment that I want to call Catching Up with Phil. Now we're going to go on his Twitter and just scroll for a little bit, and then we're going to watch some the latest and greatest highlights from yesterday, I guess. I don't know. So yeah, let's go to my friend Knitter. Because obviously I'm blocked, as every self-respecting detractor. Now, let's see. We have it all on screen. Okay, it's the dark side. It's your boy Darkside Jasper on the picture, and there's no tweets and replies. Well, that's pretty interesting. Huh? Wait, this fake news. Just Microsoft Edge. Oh, okay. I have no idea. I literally did nothing wrong. Okay, they call me DSP. Alright. Here he is, the guy. I'm gonna play some Liquid Richard in the background just because it's pretty funny.
I'm getting the fucking surgery.
I'm getting the fucking surgery.
I'm getting the fucking surgery. I'm getting the fucking surgery.
Okay. Now let's check out here. We have another your classic segment with the schedule. Can anybody tell me exactly what is wrong with Far Cry 6? Great graphics, good customizable gunplay, wacky weapons, unique characters. So far I'm loving it, and I'm wondering what game people are playing to call this boring. Because that sure isn't how I describe it. Now he unlocked the replies for this one. And let's see what happened. I just saw a couple of them. And I completely agree with you. I agree with you, DSP.
I agree with you.
Now, because it's Far Cry 3 again, and there are already 3 other Far Cry 3s, which is, it's a joke, but it kind of makes a point. And DSP, as always, the argue man, Mr. Argue. I'd argue it's far better. Let's see the replies. Did somebody bother to reply to him? And I would argue that you say I would argue way too much. Also, why do you bother asking questions when you're just gonna invalidate any answers that you get? This is DSP in a nutshell for you guys. It's basically what it is on the regular. And I don't think DSP responded to this. No, obviously. Unless I'm boomerang again. Oh no, yeah. There's a guy. Big ups, Nige. Stop attacking him for literally no reason. I'm sure. And his Twitter is pretty miserable. I put 25-30 hours into it and I completely agree with you. Everything is great. Okay, sure. And Yeah, that's your casual. There are not a lot of troll replies from what I can see. I don't know, Phil. I've never heard of it. Is it on the Xbox? It sounds foreign. Okay. Okay, this just memes. Okay. And yeah, it's basically the regular Twitter discourse that you would get under DSP posts, and he didn't really reply to any of them, except to say he disagrees. Did he beg in any of these? I don't really want to hear them because, yeah. But let's see.
All right, everyone. So, thank you for a very great streaming day today. Let's talk about what we can expect for the next few days until my day off on Wednesday. On Sunday, October 10th, it's actually a very important streaming day because, first of all, it is the continuation of Alan Wake Remastered. And let me tell you guys something. After that last session with the tremendous game-breaking glitches that we got through, I have no idea what's going to happen next in this game. The plot is heating up. Everything is great. I hope you'll join me for the spooky vibes.
He talks like he just ran like 10 kilometers or miles or anything. He just ran, okay.
10:45 a.m. Pacific time. The late stream on Sunday night is the conclusion of my long-running playthrough of Hades that lasted...
Oh, and by the way, now that I thought about it, if you ask DSP questions about going to the gym, all he's gonna say is that, man, I have my day off. That's when I go to the gym. What is this fucking squeak in the background? Dude, this shit is loud as fuck. Okay. Anyways, so he's gonna say, I work out on my day off because that's when I do all my walking. So that's literally what he can say. It's just DSP isms. Is there any begging? That's
the
what
second
I
half of the
care
summer.
about.
I'm very excited to see how it all ends after
Very
the
excited.
10th clear. And if there's extra time, which likely there will be, I'll stick around and do some post game because apparently there is more content after you do the story ending that I would like to see. That's all happening at 6:45 p.m. Pacific time. So I hope that those of you who've enjoyed Hades will come by and support the conclusion of the playthrough. On Monday, October 11th, Far Cry 6 will continue on Guards to the Lost Judgment playthrough. We'll have 4 to 6 hours of progress every week, which is great. I definitely want to keep this great stuff coming up, guys. Thank you so much so far for the great month. I'll see you tomorrow for a great streaming day.
I was muted the entire fucking time. I forgot he usually begs in the second one, I think. But, yeah. There was no begging in this one. He just told you it's gonna be fun, which I'm sure it is. And that's it. Lost Judgment, plugs, schedule for someday, Street Fighter. So okay, let's watch some recent clips from DSP. Let's go to my sub box so I can dox my sub box. Almighty Tevin, big ups. And where was it? I watched a bunch of clips today from salty stuff. Yeah, it's almost like I should have been prepared. You know what I'm talking about? You know what I'm saying? What the fuck, DSP? Oh, Slosh during Battlefield 2042. I think we watched this at some point. Threatens not to play Battlefield. Last night, what I remember is at this point he's getting scheduled behind the scenes tips of like $25. Very, very fucking chill. And exactly at the break, and then he checks his phone at the break and realizes, oh my god, guys, I got behind the scenes tip. And he calls it a behind the scenes tip. The Mr. Transparent. And we saw yesterday how transparent he is. He was calling himself transparent when talking about people on Twitch earning money. Yes, very nice. Who makes these clips that are good? Tell me in chat, who should I watch that makes clips? Because I know a couple of channels, but I have no idea who posts what exact thing. There's The Lost Judgment. This is from October 9th. So let's check this out first, I guess.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Lost Judgment. It's been a while. Number one, when I stream this game, I don't get a lot of viewers. I know I don't.
Oh, yeah.
Out of all the new releases I'm playing, this
Instant beg mode.
gets the
Nice.
least viewers, okay? But I love the franchise, and I know that I have fans who love it too, so I'm sticking with it. What I would ask is if you like this game, please support it. Whether you're watching on demand on YouTube or you're watching on a live stream, however you're watching this playthrough.
So he sometimes uses the unrecorded segment to beg if he wants to be oddly. What the fuck? Oh, dude, the fucking Liquid Richard songs freak me out all the time. Anyways, he usually uses the unrecorded segments to have this explicit begging, but this is straight up in the beginning of the video. Hey, you guys, this is Lost Judgment. I need money.
Please support it, because
Please support it.
basically a lot of the other playthroughs get the attention, but then when I play this one, it's like, damn, things slow down to a crawl, and that's not good, obviously. If you like this,
not good.
please support it if you can. Remember, you can always check the description of a video if you're watching on demand on YouTube to see
What if
other
I
ways you
can't?
contribute if you don't care about contributing and getting noticed during a live stream. Okay? No, Tyrone, my wife, is at work tonight. She's not watching. She actually is upset.
Tyrone in chat asks if his wife is watching. Fantastic.
With me. Kat is upset with me.
Kat is
because
upset
she
with
loves
me.
this game and is saying, why aren't I playing more of it? And I'm like, I got so much else I'm doing. You know, she wants to see me play this more often so she can watch, and I haven't been able to play it. This guy looks confused as shit.
Well,
Please.
This is what the fuck. What the fuck? My wife wants me to watch to play more Judgment. Jesus
We're not
Christ.
playing another game. If you ask again, you're not going to be here anymore. Shout out to NDO103. Wow, thank you so much, NDO103. A whopping $50 tip to get
Whoa.
stuff going tonight.
Wow.
Actually, the first contribution of the entire stream.
First contribution, put on that
That's certainly
hat
a good way to
or
start- way to
glasses
support
or
the
whatever
stream.
it was.
Awesome,
Was
man.
it glasses or it's just
And a
nothing?
different reasoning behind it, I'm sure.
Oh,
He's
wait.
after Lost Judgment because I love this game and I actually
He
wish more
loves
people
the
would come
game.
out for it and support it. So thank you so much. That is Gunner Glasses right off the bat. Awesome, man. Derek
Right
says
off the
Canadian
bat.
Thanksgiving is on Monday. Oh, you guys do it a whole month earlier than us, huh? I see. Well, it's different. You know, it's every single country has Thanksgiving on a different
Yes.
day and a different reasoning behind it, I'm sure. So,
They have it's a different day in China too.
sounds good. I hope that you have a good Thanksgiving there, Derek. Not sure what kind of stuff you do for it. Stormforce Gamer says if it's like Yakuza, like a dragon, you can buy parts from the vendor in the big park in the top right of the map. You can buy stuff to upgrade your weapons. In this game, from what I'm to understand, most of it you can get a few things from like the pawn
Okay,
shop.
I don't care.
Go throughout the entire the later stages. They're ridiculously hard. So
Ridiculously hard.
everyone seems more cheerful than they were before. Huh. Well, except for Kuromazaki. What the hell's going on with him? Looks like he's not paying any attention. Looking forward to feasting with the king. Every king needs a crown. I should include a Burger King crown and a Chiking on the stream.
Cringe.
Thank you very much for the tip.
Thank you very much for the tip. I'm going to ridicule you now. I'm very grateful. Please tip me again.
Royal World has re-upped his membership to the channel. Thank you, Royal World. He says this is a possible Game of the Year contender.
Dude,
Eye
who
content.
cares?
We'll see. CM Fool just hit me $4.20. It says, in my punk days, my pockets were full of robot parts. True facts. Yes. We all know, actually, that when you are a street punk in Japan, you walk around with robot wiring, microchips.
Yeah, great humor.
Sujigiri, which others would swear and beating the fuck. Oh, so many people and today play video games. You know, absolutely. When I was a kid.
Wait,
I
what?
mean, or even to mug their victims. Jesus Christ. Just getting beaten the fuck out on the streets with swords and shit. Zabungle the Zambot says, Phil, you're lucky to have a wife who games. That sounds like a fantasy. I mean, in the modern era, it's going to be way more common. Oh, so many people.
A guy who lives in 2010, by the way, is telling you how the modern era works. Apparently.
And today play video games. You know, absolutely. When I was a kid, all right, growing up, actually, me and my friends were kind of the outcasts. A lot of the other kids were heavily into sports and other shit. For me to go to arcades and stuff, I was laughed at by mainstream.
You're laughed at now because you jerked off and you beg. So is it better to get laughed at for being a gamer or a beggar and a public meat beater?
Dream kids in school.
Obvious.
But as I get older, I realize more and more people, it's bigger now. Video games are a huge part of pop culture. They're actually more profitable than all other entertainment.
This shit is like Captain America explaining to you the modern era.
So moving forward, everyone's a gamer, man.
Everyone's a
It's
gamer.
normal to game. It's not a weirdo thing. It's not an oddball thing. You're not the odd one out if you like video games. That's a cool thing. And yeah, I'll be honest. I was very lucky to find Kat, someone who loves games like me. She doesn't play as many games as me, and certainly she doesn't get into games like me as much. But when she finds a good game, she's hooked on it, and she loves it just like me. It's really awesome.
It's really awesome.
So I'm surprised that back in your day you were laughed at for going to arcades. If you got 4th place at Evo in the current year, you'd make women swoon. Times change.
He would never get 4th place in Evo in pretty much any game unless he makes a game and never shows it to anybody, and then yeah, that's not gonna work either. So he's not making fucking modern era.
But seriously, when I got 4th place at Evo, no one gave 2 fucks. Why?
Why do you keep mentioning it?
It wasn't televised. It wasn't on the internet. No one, you know.
Also, this is the story is rewritten. Apparently, nobody gives 2 fucks about his Evo 4th place. It's nice to know. You should stop talking about it all that much.
What I mean, it was just a grassroots thing. Even going to Evo and getting 4th place wasn't a big deal back then. Really, it wasn't. And no one cared. You know.
I thought he was the #1 American player at Evo that year, or non-Japanese, or whatever he put it to be.
Do I like French toast? As Seabass, yes, I do. I really like French. Well, Bodice Club is so ridiculous. Back and we'll have another. Dripster says, is there a Muppet version of me? Oh, yes. I just keep closets full of Muppet versions of me. I have no idea what you're talking about. Yes.
Yeah, they're in the closet with DSP. If you know what I mean.
Muppet second option. I already did, boy. With your jokes, I mean, you're doing wings jokes. Are you like not 50 and said you should go back to Sonic and get chili dogs like Sonic the Hedgehog, Wendy's chili and Pepsi is a good second option. I already did, boy. With your jokes, I mean, you're doing wings jokes. Are you like...
What are the DSP jokes? You beg and 1651. And why am I toxic? This is the DSP jokes. Why would anybody make DSP jokes? You're gonna get banned instantly. Better make wings jokes. Might get away with it.
Like, not self-aware? I already did that. I did Sonic, like...
DSP, are you not self-aware?
The last time I ordered food, we ordered Sonic and I got a chili dog. Ow. Balls. Alright, so guys, thank you so much. Great stream so far, guys. We're only $8 away from hitting the tier 2 tip skull and a hat for tonight. Let's make that happen so you guys can vote and get it going after this last minute, okay? Mm-hmm. Thank you guys in advance. Alright.
Okay.
Remember,
I'm begging you guys in advance, basically. That's what it means. It's not thank you in advance. And also this hat.
It's also been recommended if I find
out. No, there's zero self-awareness.
Oh, shit.
And he dies. Oh no, okay. He did the Shawn Michaels thing.
By the way, did you guys know the English voice actor for Yagami is the same guy who was the voice actor of the character in Yakuza 7, who played the hobo character? I forgot his name.
Oh, this blew my mind.
Voice actor.
Wait, don't go in yet.
Oh,
okay.
Isazaki Jinsho, Yokohama.
No, Swaggins, I do not wear the glasses and the hat around the house. Absolutely not. All right, guys, peace out. Have a good night.
Yesterday, he got like $50-something for the first stream, I think. Let's just go on fucking DSP Gaming and watch his videos. Let's give this beggar a view. Oh, big ups to everybody. 69. Like what I do with your mom. Dude doesn't even show up. Oh, here. Yeah, okay, but his other shit doesn't show up. Let's see the Far Cry. Wait, what? Oh yeah, each fucking video is his own thing. This fucking sucks. Let's see here.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome.
Ladies and gentlemen, $2 for the entire fucking pre-stream. Pretty nice, huh? Here we have 13. Whoa! And here it should be the thing. Here's something. The tip gets announced, or it's unrecorded, which it probably is unrecorded. Yeah, it's 19, and then then at the break. Exactly at the break. Whoa.
Isn't enemies? You could sneak this cute. Too cool.
Oh, cool. Let me turn off the video. Okay, now it was the break. And then instantly you see, whoa, $56. When did this come from? Where did it come from? Let's see. Because this is what I find pretty scummy, getting these behind-the-scenes tips. And the scheduled behind-the-scenes tips are actually pretty factually unwatchable. Let's see, is this the thing? That's probably the thing. Yeah, here we get... Okay, here's somewhere. He stops. Oh, there we go. You're right at the break. It's like, whoa, where did this money come
anything
from?
behind the scenes.
Oh, let's see if there's anything behind the scenes. Let's see.
I don't know what's
let's
going
peek.
on with that. I need help with tips this weekend in particular.
Oh, some begging? Okay, let's watch this too.
We got many missions to do. There's 2 main story missions and I believe a side quest that opened up. I think I'll do main story first. I'll do some side quests after. We'll probably do main story first, yeah. Alright, cool. Alright, so ladies and gentlemen.
Alright, and like I told you about the previous video we watched, he likes to beg in this segment that is not recorded for the YouTube video. So he kind of doesn't beg in the YouTube video. It's a high IQ tactics by Dave.
It's time for a break.
It's time
Thank
for a
you guys
break.
so much.
And he sounds dismissive. Like, oh, fuck you guys. It's time for a break.
Great stream so far.
Oh, yeah,
I
it's
would say
great
super chat support is really good today.
Wow.
But sadly, tips are way low. I don't know what's going on with that. I need help with tips this weekend, particularly. I'm just curious. I want to take a look here. And see if there was anything behind the scenes. Okay.
This is awesome content, by the way. Let's see, refreshing PayPal. Takes a long time to get into PayPal, you guys.
Okay. It's been pretty slow.
Yeah, I agree with you.
I don't have money to do it. I don't have money to do it.
It
I don't
has
have
been
money
pretty
to do it.
slow.
I don't have money to do it. I don't have money to do it. I don't have money to do it.
Oh, yeah.
To do it.
Whoa, what a surprise.
Behind the scenes
25 bucks.
contribution, I appreciate that.
Well, behind the scenes contribution. Mr. Transparency. Mr. Honesty. Mr. The Regular Guy. Great. Why am I calling him Dave? Because Tevin called him Dave once, and I like how that sounds. He says that DSP looks more like a Dave than a Phil, and I think so too. It's pretty funny. And yeah, that's the story. That's the lore. There's no connection.
But I hope, guys.
Or I think maybe his dad was Dave. I'm not sure.
I'm gonna take a little break here. I hope with the next hour of gameplay that things will pick up. I mean,
He literally fucking begged after receiving a behind the scenes tip. Fantastic.
this is one of the slowest.
Yeah, that's a good chat comment. Look at his face. He's a Dave. Yeah, he does look like a Dave. That's kind of how it is.
Streams for tip support that I had in a long time, and particularly I actually need the help badly right now.
How much did he get in
So it kinda
total?
sucks
Let's
that
see.
this is happening today, but
And it's actually, if I gotta be honest, it's much better watching his stream on these the Dark Dave mirror than on his actual stream, because there you don't have these segments where the actual content happens. Instead, you have fucking gameplay. Nobody cares about that shit. Cares about DSP playing games. $56. Let's see if he whined a little bit about it. Total whine.
and some money.
Oh, some money.
All right, well, that was very exciting. Not really. Yes, good, because I don't want to swim out. What an exciting treasure hunt. I got fish and some
Raw
money.
fish.
I want to do the better.
The fucking
Wait a minute,
meander,
I know
go on.
what's going on. Remember I said earlier I don't know why the crossbow has more ammo? What? Animal skins. The upgrades seem to be temporary. Now I have... I appreciate that. And those who did...
Oh, okay. Beg.
After the second stream, I really like this game. It's actually, I'm not even kidding, like I really enjoy it right now. I'm having a ton of fun playing it. For those of you who are hanging out on the streams,
This
I
dude
appreciate that.
sucks.
And those who did support it, thank you. I don't know why. I really don't know why.
I really don't know
For
why.
some-
I really don't know why. People don't want to give you money. That's probably why. That makes sense for me.
For some reason, the support was so low today. I was having a good time with the game. You guys seem to like it too, who are hanging out with me. Like everyone here is
Wow.
saying, this game just
Why?
seems to be better than people are saying it is. So many people say, it's the same as generic. It doesn't feel generic at all. It does feel to me like, first of all, the graphics are outstanding, right? The story's interesting.
First thing, always, the first thing he talks about is the graphics. The graphics is first for him. Doesn't matter what it is. Needs to be shiny. Because he got that PlayStation 5. It can be a pixelated game.
Liking the characters in the story. The
Keep
gameplay is
bows.
fun. I'm getting unique weapons and stuff that are actually making the gameplay interesting. I sniped a fucking chopper today. That was fun.
Dude, you literally played 2 hours of a Ubisoft game. Of course it's fun in the beginning. It's always fun in the beginning. Then you get 10 hours into it and you feel like crying.
You know, like
Or if it's like Assassin's Creed Odyssey, then you get 40 hours into it and you're like level 20. I'm over exaggerating about this, but you know what I mean.
I don't think I have a complaint yet. Like, I'm trying to think like what is bad about the game so far, right?
What is bad about it? Tell me.
I don't think I have anything to say negative about the game yet, and I'm 6 hours in, so I hope that you guys are enjoying the game. I'm gonna keep playing it. This is a main playthrough that I'm balancing with my other games right now.
I love it. And you love it too. You love this content. Just like you love my stream right now. And you're gonna drop a like and subscribe.
I hope that people
Because you love it.
will give it a chance. If anything, I'm gonna tweet a little bit about it today and be like, guys, the game's actually good. You should give it a shot. Because I get the feeling a lot of people possibly
What about not going to other people's streams who play the game early, this allegedly good game, and not listen to their opinions when they say the game is good, but go to DSP? And this leads into the next thing, which is today we're about to watch some DSP E3 coverage, and I'm not sure if we're gonna watch the newer ones or the older ones, because the old shit is trash. It has Rambo in it, but it's trash. And the new shit, there's a lot more stuff that I can talk about. So I'm gonna start with like 2019 first, or something like that. And then probably DSP is gonna start, and then I'm gonna watch a little bit of him. And then we might come back, we might not. I don't know.
are in a situation where they just don't want to, they don't want to pay attention to the game because people kind
I have Green Lobster in chat saying he unliked my stream so he can like. Let me just ban this idiot real quick. Okay. Okay, guys. I just banned this fucking idiot in my chat.
of panned it. A lot of the critics, oh, it's the same shit. I mean, it's the same formula, but I actually feel that this is much better than the previous Far Cry games. I'm having a ton of fun with it. I'll tell you this, I'm having more fun with this than Far Cry 5.
Subscriptions. Gotta subscribe.
Whoa.
I am, I'm liking it, so...
Bro with glasses, big ups for the sub.
Hopefully you guys will tune in again in a couple
We're now at a lot of subs. I don't know, 722. I guess. Let's say.
days when I play again, okay?
The Ziggy Piggy's
So,
back.
for those who did chill with me today and support the stream, thank you. I really do appreciate that. And I hope to see you again in a couple days when I play it again, alright?
Yeah. Sounds good. DSP Gaming, E3. Now, the 2019, and I got inspired for this video, and I'm not gonna lie to you, I'll be super ultra honest with you. I got inspired by Tevin's video where he talks about it, and I was ranting in my head, like this one. It's fantastic. The E3 2017. And I got inspired by it because I was ranting in my head about how wrong he was about literally everything, and how he asks for people to come to his coverage and not the shills that are paid, but has terrible fucking takes on literally everything and doesn't even cover some things. It's terrible. So let's check this out, I guess, or if there's an edit, it might be better. But I don't really know. It's just the King of Hate vlogs. Revealing the problem. Wow, that's pretty interesting, but nah, I don't think so. And Rant, Street Fighter 5.
Subscriptions.
Oh.
Subscribe. Get your
Big ups to
custom
Total
emotes
Wines
and shit.
employee.
Subscribe.
Total Wines employee number 1651. That must be a coincidence. Subscribe to the channel. Big ups. Now let's check this out. It's the Electronic Arts 2017. So now we get the power of hindsight, which means that we know what happened, you guys. So we know everything that they announced at this E3. We know what happened with it. So now we can debunk him properly. Now you can hear his clicks in the background that weren't my clicks. You can hear his clicks. If he's like clicky. Okay, let me change the layout to this one. And now there's gonna be hello everyone, Darkside Phil here.
Okay, what is up, everyone? Hello, welcome. Dark Side
This is actually worse than what I thought.
Phil here. Welcome to the...
There's no exclamation mark tip. You can go to the link in the description and on the screen. The bot didn't work, and started banning people. It was a rogue AI.
Beginning of my
But if you tip anything during the stream, it should pop up on screen. If you don't, just write me at chat, and I'll check up behind the scenes. You know what I mean?
E3 2017 coverage. In this session, I'm going to be talking all about what happened at the EA press conference.
EA.
Today is actually
It's in
June
the game.
10th, 2017, and E3 started early this year with the EA press conference on a Saturday, which has never happened before. You got to wonder, are they going to keep with this pattern, and next year is it going to start on Friday? I mean, it's pretty ridiculous at this point, all right? So I'm going to go through everything that was talked about. I wrote copious notes. I'm going to give
Copious notes. A single paper. A single, like, a small notebook paper. Copious notes. This is copious notes for DSP. He hasn't written so much since, like, 2010. Because the Ask the King question, he prints that out.
you all of my reactions to all of that. I want to say thank you to Daniel Zwee, who made this background. I literally just got it up
Daniel's weed? Is he in the
for the
description?
stream in the nick of time, so thank you.
No, fuck him. He doesn't deserve it. Just a massive amount of
Again,
plugs.
let's start.
Subscribe. Get those custom emotes and
Massive
shit.
amount of
Subscribe,
subs tonight. We're blowing up. We're going to the moon. Challenging PewDiePie. Now I forgot who it was because I was talking too much shit. Big ups to Alex Patton. Yeah, it showed up on my screen. I don't know how I missed it. I'm very much a boomer today. And yeah, awesome. Let's keep going. Thank you for the sub very much.
Had a lot of stuff to talk about. Anyway.
Mocking?
Okay.
Mocking Phil.
First of all, EA opens up their press conference showing Madden. Yes, Madden. We all know Madden, American Football Madden. The game that every single year has a new installment no matter what.
Get those custom emotes and shit. Subscribe.
Thank you for the sub, USMC E6. Now stop derailing my streams with subs. No, I'm kidding. You can.
So
you
it
can
opens
derail.
up showing this new story mode,
Story
which is
mode.
called Long Shot. I guess it's going to be a narrative story mode similar to like we've seen with the NBA 2K games as of late,
Okay.
and a lot of the other sports-related games that have been coming out. They really all want to have these campaign story modes now. They're all jumping on this bandwagon. So they showed off. It looks pretty good, and considering they never had a story mode before in a Madden game, that's pretty.
Also, I was thinking about making this stream a little bit more scientific, as like we did with the KO Gaming stream, and actually rate his reviews, his takes on E3 based on what happened in real life. But I didn't prepare the spreadsheet for that, so I don't care. We're just watching it like this.
Pretty cool. Do I think anyone's going to run out and buy Madden just because it has a story mode? No. And probably the vast majority of people who buy Madden this year will never play the story mode because they're
I'd never played a single FIFA story mode. That shit is cringe.
used to only playing it for the online competitive play. But it's nice that it's there. Why they opened the press conference with that as their opener, like that's a big thing, I don't know. But at least it's there, okay? Then the evil EA CEO comes out, starts talking about what they're going to be talking about on the show today.
Ooh,
He says
Swedish
there's going
guy?
to be 30 minutes
Oh, no.
of coverage of Star Wars Battlefront 2. And he says, don't worry, we listened to all
Oh no, he talks about Battlefront 2 as if I didn't see from the layout, but yeah, this is spooky.
of your feedback. And he proceeds
Jesus Christ.
to basically
And oh my god, this is 42 minutes just about EA. Holy frick. Let's see. Because Tevin did it in 43 minutes, the whole thing. He's a soldier. Big soldier. Big ups Tevin. But Sony edition is what I want to watch. Fuck this, because I actually don't really enjoy EA. Let me see from the games that are on screen. FIFA 18 was not very good. Battlefront 2, that you guys know what happened with that, with the microtransactions, everything. And Need for Speed Payback was pretty much not very good. Okay, we speed run through this, and I saved you a lot. Now, Sony is a little bit more interesting, because there we have a bunch of material to discuss. Now, let me see the prediction from this for the intro to this video is going to be, hello, and welcome to, I don't know. I actually don't know. I can't predict anything. He's unpredictable.
It would help if I clicked on the right thing. Hello, everyone!
Oh, massive YPOs. Hello, everyone!
Welcome to the conclusion of
Welcome.
my little separate videos of E3 coverage. I just watched the final official giant E3 press conference, which was Sony. Gonna talk about it right now. Boy,
Ooh, there's a lot of games on the screen that, oh were interesting.
They have a lot to talk about, but at the same time, the Sony press conference actually had some really shocking.
He has a weird case of ass chin in this video. I haven't even noticed it until now. It has this big like split that, you know, a lot of people have it. I don't mean to say ass chin. I actually meant to say it. Come on, go fuck yourself.
Middles. In fact, if you actually look around this template that a viewer made for me to do this,
A viewer? Who? Does he get a shout out? Does he get a link? No, a viewer. But here, you get every single channel and every single way you can give money to DSP. But a viewer made for me. Big
all
ups.
these games showed up on the Sony press conference. Some of them really shocking. Like this one right here. Like, what the hell happened that some of these games just didn't show up? I don't...
This layout is a little bit broken, though. You can see here in the bottom. I don't know if you can see. You can actually see it cuts off. And there's a completely different image underneath. So it's not very good.
I don't know. But anyway, we're going to talk about that right now.
Whoa.
So let's do it. Let's talk Sony. Let's just get right into it.
In front of the scenes contribution that popped up on the screen, you guys. Now I can't hide it. And Mars sent a $5 tip. And I can't see the message because I talk too much. So now I have to go in and look for it in Streamlabs. Just a second. Because I have to obviously read out the message. Anyways, when I find it, I'll read it.
So the Sony press conference starts. And on the stage are a bunch of, appear to be like Middle Eastern musicians. And they're playing like the sitar and these like really cultural instruments from that kind of Middle Eastern culture. And the music's really nice and it's coming to a build. And then all of a sudden, water...
Yes, and she says chatbot is a detractor. Which is true. The chatbot on YouTube doesn't work. The bot doesn't work. Works every once in a while. So yeah. And we did reach the tips goal. Of course, we reached it. But I don't have a lot to put on. I could flip the hat. I have the hat. Okay, I'll put the hat on. I'll put one more hat on. I'll be right back. You listen to DSP, I guess. I'll be right back.
Starts cascading down behind them in big artistic designs of water squirting up behind them. And everyone's like, well, this is nice, but I don't have a freaking clue what the hell we're looking at right now. Like, what could this possibly be, right? So it goes on and on for about, I don't know, I would say roughly, now people are saying, oh, it was Indian. Well, whatever. It was Indian then. Excuse me for not being the most culturally sensitive person. You know what? I'm gonna become an SJW. That's it. I'm dyeing my...
Wait, what? I'm coming back to DSP becoming an SJW. What the fuck? Yeah, I got 2 hats tonight. One is straight, normal. That's the Chicago hat that you probably know and love, maybe. And the other one is backwards, which is the Illuminati hat. So I'm the only man who can rival DSP in style, because my hats are 2 and they're separate ways.
Hair a weird color. I'm gonna wear big googly fucking eyeglasses I don't even need. I'm gonna start drinking caramel macchiatos every goddamn day, and I'm gonna learn all my fucking cultures right goddamn now. All right, enough. Let's just move on. Let's get to the point.
He got a little bit too salty, and I'm sorry, but I have to hear this again. The side profile for the hats, and let me just, like, it's kind of like this. Yeah, epic, right?
It's me for not being the most...
Wait, what?
All of a sudden, water starts cascading down behind them in big artistic designs of water squirting up behind them.
Squirting up. DSP loves the word squirting. It's a thing. Oh, and now we can see the event thing above me works. So if you do something during the stream, it's gonna work. Just doesn't work with subs because Streamlabs. Anyways.
And everyone's like, well, this is nice, but I don't have a freaking clue what the hell we're looking at right now. Like, what could this possibly be, right? So it goes on and on for about, I don't know, I would say roughly, now people are saying, oh, it was Indian. Well, whatever. It was Indian then. Excuse me for not being the most cultural...
How is he so salty about this? It's literally you just got corrected. Come on.
Really sensitive person. You know what? I'm gonna become an SJW. That's it. I'm dyeing my hair a weird color. I'm gonna wear big googly fucking eyeglasses I don't even need. I'm gonna start drinking caramel macchiatos every goddamn day, and I'm gonna learn all my fucking cultures right goddamn now.
DSP. Come on, bro. Come on. It's not it's not the SJW's fault. You don't know anybody's. Come on.
All right, enough. Let's just move on. Let's get to the point. So,
Fuck, I mute myself all the time. I have some plans for hats, but I'm not gonna share anything yet. It's gonna be a surprise.
so the music finally stops, and it was actually just an advertisement for Uncharted: The Lost Legacy, and they played this nice gameplay trailer. It shows Chloe, and I forgive me because I forgot the name of the other woman who's in it, and it's basically like Uncharted 4 Part 2. It really is. It looks like it's a whole other game to itself. This is the standalone DLC that we'll be releasing in late August. In fact, I'm looking at the calendar right now. I believe it's August 22nd. I could be wrong, but
I could be wrong, but come listen to my coverage of E3. Don't go looking at anybody else's though, but listen to me. But I don't know when this game comes out.
I'm pretty sure that's when it's coming out. Nadine. Everyone in the stream chat just said Nadine. Thank you. I completely forgotten her name. So, yes. It looks like it's going to be pretty good. I'm excited. I love Uncharted. So, to play more Uncharted when I thought the series was over, now they're doing standalone stories. Hey, I'm in. So, good stuff, and the game looks good.
The game turned out to be pretty good, I think. I didn't play it, but I played Uncharted 4, and I've heard that Lost Legacy is pretty good.
Then they actually showed it looked like a frozen wasteland, but then you see creatures walking through it, and everyone's like, oh, is this God of War? But then as they get closer, you realize they're robots. You're like, wait a minute, this just looks like Horizon. And it was. It was Horizon Zero Dawn actually is going to get a large-scale story-based DLC called The Frozen Wilds later on in 2017.
Good afternoon, Cadsper.
It's coming this year at some point. Being that Horizon Zero Dawn ended up being like a really big hit earlier this year, I think that it's going to end up being pretty popular. So, hey, all right, great. I'm in on that too. I liked Horizon. I certainly wasn't blown away by Horizon the way a lot of other people were, because I played other games of which that game was kind of based on, but I definitely thought it was a solid game. So I'm definitely going to be checking out that DLC. So it seems like there's two standalone DLCs, Uncharted and Horizon. Kind of weird, right? That there's like these weird standalone DLCs. I don't know, but looks good to me.
Okay, and that turned out to be pretty good too. So far he is 2 for 2.
Okay, so now we finally got to see some actual gameplay. Days Gone. This was the game that was announced last year at E3. It's the zombie apocalypse survival horror game where you're a biker and you ride around on your motorcycle and you got to dodge different kinds of hazards and stuff on the road. But then when you get off the road, you got to worry not only about zombies trying to eat you, but also humans as well. And they actually showcased that pretty significantly in this gameplay trailer, where the guy was like knocked off his bike and then he had to fight hand to hand against like a group of like a bunch of dudes to survive. And then he ended up going to some camp because he was trying to rescue some guy from his camp that had been kidnapped. It was pretty cool.
He's just telling you what happened on the thing.
Cool because he was avoiding, like, using stealth to avoid people, so it kind of looked almost like The Last of Us, but also like Metal Gear and stuff like that with that kind of element. And then when he finally broke into the camp, he saw that there was this big tower, and at the top of the tower...
Hey, big ups to Paul. It's his day off.
...was the person he was trying to rescue, but it was...
Days off are cool. You should ask DSP. He loves the day off.
...surrounded by guards, so he used a bomb to blow up a wall, and it attracted all these zombies, and they ran in and basically fought off all the guards, and he just snuck right by and went up and rescued the person.
This is some crackhead on the street explaining you his dream.
And as he was rescuing the person, a giant fucking zombie bear came out of the woods and was about to attack them.
It's like Game of Thrones.
So in this game, it's not just about zombie humans, it's about zombie animals too, which is kind of weird because...
There's gonna have a zombie DSP. It's gonna be a rabid pig.
A lot of the zombie lore that's out there right now, just think about it, The Walking Dead and stuff like that, they don't tackle zombie animals, right? They really don't. They almost never do. Instead, it's usually about the humans. But there's a ton of animals that would probably be zombified too if the virus affected them, so it's kind of cool that in this game they're going to tackle that. I like that. So...
I like that. Big snort to close it off. He's using the snorts a lot of times as like a timestamp for the video, basically. So if he would be editing these, you could see like a big spike in the audio where he snorts, and then you could manage to fix it. It's very cool. It's very nice.
Looks really good. Like, I was very impressed with how the game looked. It was actually funny because they cut away for a second while they were showing the gameplay, and on the Sony stage, they actually had actors and, like, acrobats hanging from the fucking ceiling of the stage looking like zombies dangling like this. So it was kind of cool for people who were there in person.
Oh, no.
But the game looks great, and it's funny because it doesn't have a release date at all. They didn't even hint at, like, when it's coming out.
What's the game, DSP? Tell us the
name. I was
name.
hoping it would be, like, either this year or next year, but they didn't give a date, which makes me believe it's probably a couple years out still. But it was definitely good to see the game in development. The game looks good, in my opinion. I'm looking forward to that one.
So that was Days Gone. It was a game that some people said it was mediocre, but I enjoyed quite a lot. As a very easily scared person, it was not that scary. With something that had zombie children in it, which was fucking terrifying. And I think it's a pretty good game.
So the guy comes out, and I forget his name.
The guy.
I apologize.
Come see my coverage, but some guy fucking comes out, and I forget his name. He said some shit. Nobody cared. Yeah, it was just boring. But watch my coverage.
Because I always forget the Sony guy's name, the American
Sony
guy. But he's the guy that's there every year. He comes out, he says, "Hello, everyone, welcome."
Did he jerk off at the press conference?
It's all about the games, just like it always is with us at
That's
Sony.
always the easy joke. Like, you could have anything going on. You can just say, but did he jerk off DSP?
We're going to talk about a ton of games today, so here we go. So then they start playing another trailer, and at first it was hilarious because no one knew what the hell it was. People were like, "It's Final Fantasy. No, it's a new action game. Oh, Dark Souls. Is this
I don't know why he gives them the mocking voice to everybody.
Bloodborne 2?" And then within a few seconds, everyone figured it out when they started seeing the animations. Monster Hunter. Now, this is huge. Because Monster Hunter has been a Nintendo exclusive series for quite a long time. Been a couple exceptions, all right? I realize I don't think it was always 100% Nintendo. But for the most part, Monster Hunter as of late has been a Nintendo-centric franchise. And now they're breaking out of that mold and they're going cross-platform. So it's actually going to be both, I believe, both on PS4 and Xbox One. And I think it's going to have a later on PC release if I saw it correctly.
I took massive amounts of notes, but if I saw it correctly, I don't know. I don't know anything. But I took a lot of notes too about some guy coming out and he said some things, then the trailer, and people thought it was this, and they thought it was Bloodborne 2. But no, it's Monster Hunter. Monster Hunter.
So yeah, Monster Hunter World. Drastically improved graphics from any previous Monster Hunter game. It looks like there's going to be elements of monsters fighting each other while you're trying to fight them and everything. Fans of the Monster Hunter series must fucking be ecstatic because I hate to say it, I really feel a game like that has been held back by the hardware that it's been limited to for quite some time because they always wanted to be on Monster Hunter. Because they always
Deutsch says in chat his notes were written in crayon, which he later ate. Yeah, he gave that crayon he said it was a mixed bag of 4.5 out of 5. Pretty good crayon.
Always wanted to be on Nintendo, and therefore Nintendo literally has the worst hardware of anyone. Always has the worst fucking hardware, and so they always had to scale back maybe the breadth of what they wanted to do with the series, and now they can actually try.
He hates Nintendo, though. I've never had a Nintendo and never played Nintendo games, but they look fun.
Excuse me.
And he hates them because they didn't let him upload videos to YouTube of some of their games or something. I don't know.
To branch out a little more now that they're going back onto the modern consoles again. Pretty cool. I'm curious to see, how it turns out. Will I play it? I don't know. And the reason I say that is because I did play a Monster Hunter game a few years back. If you remember, it was the one on the Nintendo 3DS. The Monster Hunter series is kind of a grind. Like, there's a lot of fucking grinding in the Monster Hunter series. So if I were to make that a game that was a successful playthrough, probably it would be a lot about stream interaction. Like, as I'm doing the grinding gameplay, I'd have to be talking with people on stream about other stuff to try to keep people occupied, or else...
Yeah, that's why his chill streams exist. That's exactly what it was when he used to play Minecraft. And it was just him sitting there and fishing for 2 hours and ranting about PewDiePie and Ninja. This was the best time ever. And he had people writing, one person, writing entire forums worth of information of how to build stuff in Minecraft. He is amazing.
It's probably going to be boring as fucking dirt, because when I played it on 3DS, it was boring. I fully admit, I know it was boring as shit because it was grind.
Grind.
So I guess we'll see. All right. I guess we'll see, but I'll have to think about it. So they did announce that's coming out early 2018, by the way. Okay. Up next, this one really confused me. This next one, all right?
Very
They
confused.
show a game, and it's like big monsters. Uh-oh. So you immediately think, oh,
I think I'm here to find out about E3 2017 and not to figure it out with some guy. Because I haven't seen the press conference. And I'm watching it, and this guy doesn't even know. He covers it, but he doesn't even know what he's talking about. What? Huh?
big monsters. Is it Ico? Is it maybe Shadow of the Colossus? And it was Shadow of the Colossus.
Oh.
And I recognized right off the bat a bunch of the bosses from the original Shadow of the Colossus game that I already played the HD remaster back on PS3 a few years ago, remember? And then they announced it's like, what was it? It was Shadow of the Colossus, and that was it.
What about the notes that he took? He doesn't even look at those. It's just off the dome. It's a freestyle, like everything the DSP does.
I mean, the graphics look like
It's by memory, and his memory is not very good.
modern PS4 graphics, so I guess they're remaking the game again. So it's a remake of a remake, because they already remade the game for PS3, now they're remaking it again for PS4, and, you know, some people are asking me, am I going to play it?
There's some fucking troll in chat calling me foreign white chocolate turban. And he says, sounds good. This is a fucking detractor meme. Let me ban his ass. Good. You're banned.
Probably not. I don't know. It's the same game. It was weird because definitely some of those bosses are the same bosses from the original game, but without actually seeing the fight, you don't know, will the actual gameplay mechanics be the same, or did they change them? Did they change the bosses so now it actually feels like a more unique game and it's different? I don't know. So it confused me because it
He was confused. The guy telling you the news is confused.
didn't really clearly explain in what was at this press conference the full information. Now, maybe they will. Maybe they're going to have an offline presentation, you know, or you know, at the show floor, which starts tomorrow, by the way. Maybe they'll have more information. They'll be showing, oh, no, this is a full-on remake where we redid all the bosses or whatever. But that wasn't apparent from the trailer they showed, okay? And they did say that is coming out in 2018 as well, but no actual...
So the bottom line is, I did nothing wrong. I understood nothing. It looked like this thing that I played, but it might not be. It might be something different. Okay, DSP. Thanks for the news.
solid information as to when, okay? Then they played a Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite story-based trailer. Apparently what's going on is in the storyline of Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite, which, yes, it will have apparently a full-on story mode, which is
I have nothing to contribute to this conversation. Let's just hear him out.
actually kind of rare for Capcom. Usually their games at launch do not have full-on story mode, so I guess they finally realized, oh shit, NetherRealm does it, but Namco Bandai does it, every other fucking game does it, and we don't. Maybe we actually have to try to compete, and because people just aren't just buying our games by default anymore. So they're actually putting a full-on story mode into the game. The story mode is that basically the Marvel and the Capcom universes are attempting to be fused by Ultron and Sigma, because somehow Ultron and Sigma, from their respective, you know, universes, intertwined and became one entity.
Whoa.
And now they're actually trying
This like sex.
to combine both universes. And it's funny because in the plot of this game they have Thanos, who's like one of the most powerful characters in the Marvel universe, captured. Oh my god! Teaming up and talking to Thanos about maybe we'll release Thanos and have him fight you know, Ultron Sigma and see if he can beat him, because maybe we can't. So it seems like it's going to be a plot line where all the heroes from the various universes team up to try to take out Ultron Sigma, which is an interesting premise. Could be cool. I hope that the story turns out well. They literally showed zero gameplay.
Sigma male grind set. Yeah, it's a fucking Sigma.
Zero of this game. Instead, all they showed was cutscenes from what's probably going to be the single-player story mode. But they did drop a small bomb. It wasn't like a gigantic monster bomb like we had Ubisoft with the Beyond Good and Evil 2 announcement, but it was a little itty-bitty bomb, and went boop, boop, boop. And the bomb was that they are releasing a story demo right now, apparently. So
apparently. I'm here to tell you the news, apparently.
I guess right now, I don't know because I haven't looked. The press conference just ended and I'm doing this video, but apparently on PS4 and probably Xbox One, you could get a story-based demo for Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite right now. I don't know. I'll have to look out, you know, maybe tonight. What I'm thinking is, I'll probably do it tomorrow. So for those who are watching this live, no, I'm not going to do that tonight. Maybe tomorrow on stream, if it's there, I'll play it. And I'll balance that in with everything else I'm doing tomorrow. Okay? Okay. All right.
Okay.
Then.
All right.
They continued on. You know what I should do before I continue on? I should do shout outs because I saw people
Oh, big.
cheering and doing
Okay.
stuff. So hold on a
we're
second.
gonna skip this. This is useless.
Okay.
Okay.
And Sonic We did a 10-bit cheer and said, how about
10-bit cheers.
one has a fucking grudge against Chun-Li? Maybe someone's a Street Fighter 5 player.
What?
Warfare, double jumping, wall running, back flipping, fucking kill streaking, nuking, calling in a fucking drone, transforming into a robot fucking panther and ripping someone's balls off, gimmick games that obviously any return to true form of a first-person shooter is going to be better than the shit that fucking Activision has been shoveling
What
out
the
for the
fuck?
past several years. So we just saw it last year with Battlefield 1. They returned back to their roots and the game was great and everyone bought it.
YouTube is complaining about the stream. Something about the stream, but I don't know. It's still up, as far as I know.
So now we're doing some of the same things here with Call of Duty World War II, going back to their roots. You know, the first 3 Call of Duty games were all old school combat. They're going back to it now, and it actually looks pretty good.
Whoa.
I really don't have much else to say about that because it doesn't look anything special or original. It just looks like a really solid old school style first-person shooter. And yes, I am excited for it, and I'm probably going to play it because it looks good to me.
Okay. Call
Okay.
of Duty is great.
Then they went into their VR segment, to which sadly a lot of people who don't have PSVR got completely
Oh no,
turned
VR.
off.
Okay.
I knew that would happen.
This is going on
Because
125.
not a lot of people own PSVR. But you might say, but I heard that Sony sold 2 million units. Yes. Here's what you heard. Sony shipped 2 million.
The man was didn't understand anything. He doesn't know anything. He didn't get it right. He didn't do this, do that. He will tell you what actually happened with the PSVR. Good DSP. Sounds fucking good. Also, this is a thumbnail. This is a very... Oh no, I ruined it. Fuck. Okay, there's no going back.
Horrific things, but at the same time, you can't really remember how you got in. So it looks like a
Yeah, like the fucking DSP stream.
unique VR experience where you're trying to figure out different...
Okay. What about?
Maybe like a platformer.
Hold on.
Okay. And it was funny because the footage they were actually playing, I'm not exaggerating.
He is gonna exaggerate. Okay.
Admittedly, recently I skipped a few, like Farpoint and shit that fucking Activision has been shoveling out for the past several years.
The
So
fuck?
all old school combat.
Okay,
that
we're back.
happen because not a lot of people own PSVR. But you might say, but I heard that Sony sold 2 million units. Yes. Here's what you heard.
Here's what you heard, by the way. I'm gonna tell you what you heard.
Sony shipped 2 million units. Sony did not sell 2 million units. They shipped 2 million units worldwide to all the stores. We actually don't have real sales numbers of what they sold. And the vast majority of people who bought PSVR really enjoyed it at first. I did too. But let's face it, the amount of quality games that have come out for PSVR have been few and far between.
This dude is fucking stupid, and I'll just say that from now on. And I mean, you know that, but fucking, it's 2017.
Probably
Come on, VR wasn't all that into it back in 2017. It wasn't that developed. So you can have games like Half-Life Alyx that you got maybe in 2019 or something, 2020. I don't know. Good game. In all the other games that come out with VR support nowadays, you couldn't have this without games that weren't that sophisticated back in the day. But of course, he knows better, and he's gonna tell you why VR sucks, because there's not a lot of games that are for VR that are good. You can play GTA in VR, I think, in 2017.
Two hands, I can count the amount of games that are actually worth buying on PSVR. Admittedly, recently I skipped a few, like Farpoint and Star Wars Bridge Crew, only because I didn't even want to drop like 50, 60 bucks on a game when I knew after...
DSP doesn't give a fuck about dropping 50, 60 bucks. He doesn't care about it at all. It's just an excuse. He doesn't want to play VR. That's fine. You just say you don't want to play VR. That's how it works. Come on.
Playing it for 20, 30 minutes with this headset that I was going to get tired
It's
of
fucking
having to take a
bullshit.
break, okay? So it's pretty much exactly what I thought. It's a gimmick. It was really popular at first because it was cheaper.
No, it's still going pretty strong, and a lot of games are coming out with VR support. So DSP was epically wrong for shitting on a new technology back in the day.
Than all the other VR options, but at this point, most people are turned off to VR and don't care about it anymore. So now let's talk about what was announced for the VR lineup at E3. First of all, Skyrim. Okay, and it was funny because the footage they were actually playing, I'm not exaggerating. If you go back yesterday to Bethesda's press conference and you watch when Bethesda showed Skyrim on the Switch, look at that in-game gameplay footage and compare it with what was shown with the PSVR. Half of it is identical. They were just playing a fucking generic clip of Skyrim gameplay, like a montage of Skyrim gameplay on both press conferences.
Does DSP play generic clips of his gameplay over his reviews? Yes, he does, because he's too lazy to edit. But of course, we're not gonna compare DSP with Bethesda, a multi-million-dollar company. But you know,
Same gameplay. It wasn't completely the same, but some of the scenes were exactly the same. There were two big ogre dudes coming up, and you're going like this to try to fight them, and then the other one was the dragon, and you're shooting ice at a dragon. It looks exactly the fucking same.
and also DSP is supposed to be somewhat, I don't want to say objective, but you know, kind of fair when he makes his criticisms, and not just shit on VR, because he expects you to go into this video and watch nobody else's video, because he wants you to just watch only his video about E3 and not anybody else's. So he thinks you should go in and he can tell you all this fucking bullshit, this fucking nonsense that would not inform you about anything. Even though we're watching it 4 years after the fact, it's still, he doesn't fucking tell you anything.
So
He's misinformed. He's uninformed because he didn't pay attention and he didn't write notes. He wrote one fucking sheet of paper of notes for a 3-hour show that he's supposed to cover as some sort of a journalist. So, in the end of the day, I would rather watch a 5-minute well-produced video by a paid shill to make up my own opinion in my own mind, instead of going to watch a 40-minute misinformed, uninformed rant and rambling about fucking nonsense and not knowing what you're talking about and who came up on stage and what they did.
it's a 7-year-old game. Yeah, it's great. Everyone loves Skyrim. How many fucking times are you going to play Skyrim? And again, I have to say it. PSVR, at least for me,
It's probably come out at least once since then. The Skyrim.
uncomfortable after playing it for like 20, 30 minutes. Do you want to have to play a 45 to 50 hour long game and take a break every fucking half hour? Probably not.
DSP gets uncomfortable, and also DSP's experiences with stuff does not mean anything because he's not the normal average person. He is a guy who has like 20% of the physical abilities of a normal human being. So if he can stand with a VR headset for like half an hour and be okay, you can stand there for at least an hour and a half and be pretty chill about it. But I don't know. And Crobcat makes the best E3 videos. I know. All his videos are great. And the Cyberpunk 2044, 2047, 2020? That game. Video for that game is very good. And the game itself is very bad. I think. Because I bought it on PS4. The base PS4. So yeah, you can laugh at me in chat.
So I don't
Have
know
your fun.
about that. All right, the next game was called Star Child
I refunded it.
VR. It looks like it may be like a platformer because it shows
Huh?
a little girl character running around, but then all of a sudden this big robot helps her, like a monster was going to attack her. A big robot like swipes out and punches the monster away and picks her up and helps her. But it's unclear. It doesn't really show any gameplay, so you don't really know what the game's going to be. And it looks like that is coming out at some point. The thing was, like, none of these games really had release dates except for one, which we'll get to. There was another game called The Inpatient, and this one apparently you are a patient at a mental institution.
I've never heard any of these games.
You're checked in at a nut house, and I guess what's happening is you're having flashbacks to the past and to the present, and you're seeing horrific things, but at the same time you can't really remember how you got in. So it looks like a unique VR experience where you're trying to figure out with different timelines and plot lines what's going on in this asylum. Okay, that one.
Yeah, I fell for the marketing scheme. I bought it on the PS4. I pre-ordered it on the PS4. I did a DSP thing, and then it sucked. And there was a bunch of crashes, and it was unplayable. I got basically 1 or 2 hours of my about 8-hour experience with the game that were fantastic gameplay and having so much fun. But it's 1 or 2 hours of 8 hours full of crashes and nonsense and bugs and bad performance and bad graphics and clunky controls. Yeah, pretty much.
One kind of intrigued me. That one actually looks unique and it has a good narrative, and that one is one that I might consider playing, but no release date. All right, who wants to go fishing? Raise your hands. Who wants to go fishing right now? Enough
Not DSP.
of this. Let's just go fishing. All right, great. And now you can do it in the world of Final Fantasy 15, because Final Fantasy 15, Monster of the Deep Fishing VR game, comes out in September of 2017. Now, you may be maybe scratching your beard or scratching your head or scratching your balls or flipping your nipples and saying, I thought that there was supposed to be a VR game for Final Fantasy that was released. What happened to it? The answer is, it never came out. Right? Did it ever even fully come out or whatever? Because I remember when PSVR was announced last year and the big hype was that one of the things that's going to come out is a Final Fantasy 15 VR, fun experience or
let's
whatever.
go fishing,
and it
you guys.
actually showed a fight against the behemoth and stuff like that. I mean, we never knew what it was going to be, if it was going to be like a long-ass game or whatever. But we didn't know what it was going to be. And they said, oh, don't worry, that'll be out by the end of 2016. Guess what? It never came out, right?
Wrong.
Unless I missed it, never came out. And now this is what they're substituting it. Oh, this was the game, the fishing game. You didn't show us fishing at E3 last year. You showed us fighting the fucking behemoth in first person. So it seems to me like Square Enix completely lied. They literally just
Seems like, to me, ESP completely lied about Project 7.
100% lied to everyone. And they're not doing that VR experience they promised last year. And instead of doing this stupid
You're not doing that Project 7 experience you promised.
fishing game.
That's cringe.
Figure that one out. Okay. Up next was a game that looked like an incredibly generic first-person shooter called Bravo Team. Think like Rainbow Six or maybe even SOCOM, or I would also say Counter-Strike. And it looks boring, and it's called Bravo Team, the most generic, the generic American cheese name that you could fucking name any game, right? It's just so boring. And then...
it's so boring. This is the guy that... Oh my god, he pissed me off so much. Because he's overly negative about everything. And it's like something like this. Come on, you can give them the optimistic response that's gonna make you look kind of not like an asshole. And you can just say, yeah, this game doesn't look like it's my thing, but let's see when it comes out. It might be good. And that's like a cautiously optimistic response that doesn't make you look like an asshole. Instead, he just looks like an asshole. Oh yeah, this game fucking sucks. People spend hundreds of hours, thousands of hours collectively developing games like this, especially in VR, a new technology that at the time was pretty hard to develop for. That's why there were so little games that were coming out, because there was not a lot of money in the genre of VR, and there was not a lot of development studios that were willing to go all out for it, because it was a new thing. And he's shitting on all these VR things that are coming out at the time that were kind of new and kind of, let's just try it out. Let people be excited for the future. Let people be excited for new stuff. That doesn't mean you're going to be a shill. It doesn't mean you're going to be promoting bad practices. Just kind of don't be an asshole all the time. It's not hard.
Another game. Now, this one kind of intrigued me. Looks like it may be a combination action platformer, although I don't know how it's going to work because they didn't show gameplay. They just kind of showed what they're going for with the game, but they didn't actually show someone like playing it with the VR headset on. It has a little mouse, and everyone who was watching the stream was screaming, it looks like Stuart Little. It looks like Stuart Little, from literature. And it does kind of look like Stuart Little. He's got like a little ascot or something on, and he's got a big...
I know Stuart Little from the movie, not from literature, because I don't read books.
Glaive on one hand with a...
Except they got pictures on him.
Sword, so he's a warrior mouse. I got flashbacks to like reading the Redwall book series from back in the day that I used to read when I was a kid. But he's fighting, monsters, he's solving puzzles, there's a giant freaking snake that comes after him, and the name of the game is called Moss. It actually looks interesting to me, but again, no release date. So, let's see. Skyrim VR, Star Child, The Impatient, Bravo Team, Moss, all coming for PSVR, but fuck knows if we know when.
Okay, what's wrong with that? You don't care about PSVR, why are you mad about this? Just let games be developed, and come on time. Otherwise, you're going to see what happened with Cyberpunk 2077. That's the name of the game. Fucking bought that game, refunded it. I still don't know the name. I just know, what's his name? I don't even know his name. Guy from The Matrix. Keanu Reeves. That dude is in it. He's great. I love him so much.
So if you own a PSVR, you play Farpoint, you play Star Trek Bridge Crew, you play Robinson the Journey, which came out a million months ago. I guess you can play Resident Evil 7 in VR, even though, like I said, you see what I mean? Like, there's nothing that's like, wow, I really needed that PSVR. And not one of the titles that they really announced there was like, wow.
Yeah, that's true. They need to have titles like this every once in a while, but at the time, it was kind of a new thing. And it's, from what I saw, it was pretty expensive back in the day, so I didn't even consider getting it.
I'm so happy I have a PSVR because I would have missed out if I didn't have it. It's just kind of underwhelming at this point. At least that's my opinion, okay? Okay. Then finally, one of the big ones that everyone wanted to know more about, God of War.
Big ones.
They show Kratos, rowing in a boat with this kid who supposedly is his son, even though we probably know it's not really his son.
It's really his
At
son,
this point, it seems
DSP.
more like he's his protector or his guardian, and that this kid actually is from the Norse mythology area, so he knows all the Norse creatures and Norse gods, and he's actually giving Kratos tips about things in combat, about what he can do to fight them, because he knows what they are. Kratos is fighting with this cool shield. Think Captain America, but it transforms. It like
Think Captain America.
molded into different shapes as he was attacking, which was pretty cool. The graphics were fucking sick. Like, those were really fucking good graphics. I mean, way detailed graphics. And of course, they'll say,
Look at him creaming his pants about graphics. Graphics are amazing, you guys. I love graphics. There should be a graphic designer.
Only on PS4
The way I love graphics so much.
Pro, I'm sure. But hey, those visuals, I really liked them. And it was smooth. It didn't look like the frame rate was chopping or whatever. Looked really good, man.
Looked really good because the graphics were good. This is all he told you about. The graphics were good. About God of War. One of the most hyped and the game that won some IGN contest about the best game of ever, I guess, or the best game of the decade or something. I'm misinformed again. You come to me for news and I don't know shit. Anyways, God of War. It's a pretty fucking good game. It's not completely my thing, but I played it for a little bit. It's pretty fucking good. And all he knows is that the graphics were good. Graphics were, wow, beautiful, man. And his fucking TV is sitting across the room. He can't even look at the graphics. He has to squint to look at the graphics. He doesn't even know if the graphics are good or not.
One of the highlights at the very end, they run into the world serpent, which is of Norse mythology. One of the big figurehead creatures / gods of Norse mythology is the world serpent. And it looked really awesome. And it actually reminded me of Falkor from, if you've ever seen The Neverending Story. If you've ever seen that movie, it kind of reminded me like Falkor, only way bigger. Looked pretty cool. So I liked it. I think this game's going to be excellent. Thumbs up. And it's coming out early 2018. That's good news, because we didn't know how far out that game was when it was announced last year. It's coming next year. Great. Excellent. Then, for the first time ever, we actually saw some real gameplay of the upcoming game from Quantic Dream. This is the same people who made Heavy Rain and Beyond Two Souls. Detroit Become Human. And we actually now...
Hot take. I think that game is good, but the story is not very good. Because it... Yeah. It naturally implies that androids are the same as humans, which they're not. And if you don't think that, then you're probably going to take a different direction with the plot and make some different choices than what it was canonically intended, I think. But yeah, you can make a lot of choices. The game is pretty transparent with the amount of choices you can make, and it's pretty cool. Yeah, if you can play it, play it. It's at least one playthrough worth playing. It's pretty decent. But again, it's a game written by David Cage, so if you have experience with stuff he's written before, then you might not even like it.
Know what the game is about. Basically, in a futuristic Detroit, there are androids that have been created by humans to do tasks, to become, I guess, like slaves, right? Like if you're lonely, buy an android woman and fuck her. Or if you want, don't hire a housekeeper.
Wait, what? How did you... Oh my god, what? I need to clip this for the soundboard.
There are androids that have been created by humans to do tasks, to become, I guess, like slaves, right? Like if you're lonely, buy an android woman and fuck her. Or
if you're lonely, buy an android woman and fuck her.
I agree with you.
Pretty good.
If you want, don't hire a housekeeper, buy a robot, have the android fucking clean your house.
Oh, Detroit become beggar in chat. Very nice.
And shit, right? But apparently some of the...
But the first thing that comes to his mind is get an android woman and fuck her. That's the first thing he can think of. Not like have a maid or have a chef or have a servant. It's just fuck her, you boy. Fuck her, boy.
Androids have gained self-consciousness
Christ.
and realize that this is wrong and that they shouldn't be slaves, and they're trying to revolt and basically program...
Wait, they're shooting slaves? Holy shit, this turned into like Django Unchained. I didn't see that in the game. I must have taken the wrong choice.
The other androids to also be independent thinkers. So... it's cool. It just shows a scenario where it's two characters, they're two androids, they're in the street, and they're going to try to break into this android facility and free all the androids. And they even show you there's multiple ways you could do it. You could go up and climb this way, or you could just steal a truck and drive right the fuck through the front door, or you could do all of this. So it's kind of like a choose your own adventure book. I don't know how many of you may have actually...
Yeah, it is, but they're kind of... I don't know how to call them. It's cosmetic choices, maybe I would say. Because, yeah, there are a lot of choices, but few of them are important. But the important ones matter. I would give them credit for this. So I would still recommend you, if you can, check out the game. It was free on PS Plus a long time ago. So if you haven't tried it, you should try it.
actually read one of those.
Especially if you can play it with a significant other or a friend, somebody who you can talk about the decisions you want to make and why. I think that adds a social element to the game that few games have, and it's perfect for this kind of a story-driven, choose-your-own-adventure type scenario.
I mean, now I'm going way back to my childhood. These books where it's like you get to a certain page and it says there's 3 choices. Do you want to go left, right, or do you want to stay where you are? If you want to go left, go to this page. If you want to go right, go to this page. If you want to stay where you are, go to this page. And that's what it's kind of like. All these multiple scenarios and ways that you can do things. Obviously, the game's going to lend itself to massive replayability because you're going to want to go back and try all those various methods of doing things to see if they dramatically change the outcome of the game, right? So that's kind of cool. I definitely like
Snart.
that.
DSP starting in 25 minutes, but that's when the music starts. So it's basically an hour until actual DSP pre-stream. Then I'm gonna sit back and relax and listen to him.
Actually, it showed
it's gonna be fucking terrible.
They are once again using real-life actors for the game, like they've done with all their previous Quantic Dream games. They got real actors. They did it again. In fact, if anyone watched the show The Following, it was only
real actors, by the way. They exist in real life.
It was a show that starred Kevin Bacon. There was this girl who was one of the main heads of like the cult in that show. She's in the game. I mean, I recognized her face to a T. I was like, that's definitely that girl. I don't know her name, but that's definitely her. And I get the feeling they're going to have other actors and people in there that we're going to recognize as well. So the game looks pretty good. But once again, I was very disappointed. No freaking release date. I mean, if anything, one of the biggest disappointments of the Sony conference, they basically updated us on all the games we wanted to hear about and gave us almost no concrete information on when we can play them. And that's frustrating as fuck because these are the same games we heard about last year, if not the year before, and we want more information and we're not getting it, and it's getting pretty disappointing, okay? Okay. Oh, the guys from Grey's Anatomy. One classy squirrel in the stream chat said the main protagonist guy is on the Grey's Anatomy show. I've never seen Grey's Anatomy, so that's probably why I didn't recognize him. But I guarantee you, like, there's probably going to be multiple actors and actresses in it that are, you know, faces we're all going to recognize from other stuff. And that's cool. I like that about the Quantic Dream games. I really do. All right. Then they showed off Destiny 2. And they showed no gameplay whatsoever. Basically, they just showed there's a new race of big, brutish guys that are coming in and basically tearing the shit out of everything.
I don't even think he played any Destiny. I'm not sure. I don't think he did. He might have played the first one, but the second one he didn't play, definitely.
Okay, whatever, and it's coming out...
Okay, whatever. That's the thing. They show Destiny. They didn't show much. They just saw some guy. Okay, whatever.
September 6th, which is weird to me, because I thought it was coming out September 2nd. That's what I had on my calendar originally. But no, I'm not...
It's almost like you're a fucking idiot, DSP. And this goes to a screenshot.
I looked, it said September 6th in the trailer they played, and I looked it up. September 6th is a Wednesday. How often do you see a new game release on a Wednesday? Typically in the United States,
yourself, DSP.
Tuesday, or for worldwide releases, they're on a Friday. Why is it on a Wednesday? That is just really bizarre to me. So, Destiny 2. I'm still on the fence about playing it. I go by the old adage, okay? Fool me once, shame on you. But fool me twice, shame on me. I bought vanilla.
He gets fooled by every single marketing strategy that exists. Every single one. He gets fooled by them. He buys the thing, he complains about it, he buys the thing again. That's how it works. So these fucking adages, you can just cut this shit out of the video. This is useless.
Destiny.
That's not how life works, as he would say.
I played all of the story-based content. I did some of the post-game raids and things, and I thought it was meh. I thought that it's great if you have a bunch of friends you want to cooperatively play this game with all the time.
But if you have 0 friends, it's not very good.
And really more the entertainment factor.
That's what he actually wants to tell you. If you have no friends, it's a very good game. No, actually, it's not very good. It sucks. The worst game ever.
Because you're participating and having social interactions with your friends rather than the gameplay. The gameplay was boring.
You should go have social interactions in real life, DSP. You're probably gonna meet a better soulmate than the potato woman.
And generic, and it felt like a million other games I played before. But people tell me, people still insist to this day, that if I had stuck with Destiny and I bought all the fucking expansions and spent another $100 goddamn dollars or however fucking much it was, that the expansions were actually good and I should have...
He doesn't care about spending money. He just doesn't want to play the game. He just doesn't want to play the game. Because if he wanted to play the game, and the chat didn't want to play the game, or they didn't care or whatever, he would spend over $100 to get it. It doesn't matter.
Stuck with the game. Sorry, I'm not investing hundreds of hours to get to the good stuff of a fucking game that should have been in the first 2 hours when I bought it for $60 originally. So for me, I'm kind of really... on the fence about Destiny 2 because maybe they kept all those good things that people seem to have liked from the Destiny expansions and this game will be really good. Or maybe they're going to say, wait, it worked last time, fucking do it again. Give them a bare bones fucking game at launch, let them play it for 6 months and get nothing out of it, and then we'll fucking actually give them the good stuff for another 30, 40 bucks a pop. And I'm not doing that. I'm just not doing that. So, I don't know. I'm on the fence, all right? And then last in the press conference, and yes, I mean last in the press conference, don't worry, I'll address that in a moment, because as I said, take a look around me and think about all the games I've talked about. I covered every game they've talked about so far, so there were some huge omissions we're going to talk about at the end of this video. But anyway, the final game they showed off was Spider-Man, the new Spider-Man game that's going to be coming out. And it shows that it's kind of like, at least in some parts, the Batman Arkham series, where Spider-Man's going to be using, like, the rafters or girders to kind of go...
And I'm muted. Epic. I just wanted to say I recommend Spider-Man. That's all I wanted to say.
above his enemies and swoop down and take them out with stealth web, disabling attacks. But then he also has melee flowing combat like he did in his other Spider-Man games and just like Batman did in the Batman games. And it seems like all that's in there. It also seems like they've got new environmental interactions. So for example, he was fighting on top of a constructive...
Mods, ban everybody in chat who's saying I'm white Tevin. Ban him right now. Ban him. They need to be banned right now.
Or a building that was under construction. And so there were big girders and stuff hanging. And he had like 3 enemies in front of him and he used his web to pull a girder forward and it...
I'm sorry, it happens. Because I have a hotkey to mute it. And it's the same to mute. So, yeah, that's how life works. At least I mute my mic when I cough or snort. Which I don't do all that much.
And knocked them all off, you know, all out of combat. So it was pretty cool in that event. I liked that. That looked pretty good. Then they engage on a giant chase, okay? Basically, they found out that there's a head of a gang, is this Asian guy, I don't know who the hell he was, but he had just like superpowers, like a mutant almost. So Spider-Man's chasing this helicopter as it goes through the city, and there's quick time events, but there's also motion with his webs to get around the city, so there's free-form motion just like there were in previous Spider-Man games, but there's also going to be quick time events and stuff to happen. And then finally, he takes out the chopper, and then the trailer ends and all of that. And then at the very end of the press conference, there was a Easter egg.
Hey, I look at the chat, don't slander me and make up conspiracy theories about me. I look at the chat, it's just very, it's delayed. I get lag. Online lag.
Because a kid is walking up and taking pictures of the helicopter that Spider-Man had stopped in the webbing, and this other kid says, Miles, come on, man, you can't just be sitting there, we gotta get out of here. It was Miles Morales, who actually is the new Spider-Man, or I don't know if he still is, but at one point he was Spider-Man, not Peter Parker. So
yeah, that's a good prediction.
So maybe he'll be in the game, that could be pretty cool. So, that was the Sony press conference. Now, wait a minute, right? Really?
Really?
I mean, we got some
as I'm showing you this single piece of paper that I wrote.
pretty fucking big elephants in the room to address. First of all,
Ban everybody in chat who talks about my ethnicity.
well, just looking around me here, what happened to Shenmue 3, right? Which was greenlit and everything. We have no update on that game. That's a huge one. What the fuck happened to The Last of Us 2? Nothing.
He hated it.
Not even a blip.
He hated the shit out of it because of the SJWs.
Nothing on The Last of Us 2. I mean, if anything, that's telling me that they're way out on The Last of Us 2, and they're not even close to having it done. So maybe we're talking 2-3 years out, or else they would at least have shown something, right? I mean, to show nothing at E3, and that was the one that a lot of people were expecting to be the big bombshell for Sony. That was going to get people, wow, you know, awesome, look at this awesome gameplay. No information about it. Was kind of bizarre. They didn't even mention Gran Turismo. They didn't even mention Ni no Kuni. Now, apparently, from what I'm understanding, those games will be at E3 this week on the show floor, so we should be able to get information if we want it, but not talking about those big high-profile... They didn't even talk about, a real RPG. I mean, they had Monster Hunter. They didn't talk about a real RPG.
Hey, big ups with making noodles, Toro in chat. And hello to Renee. Welcome. In about 15 minutes, we're going to tune into DSP, even though he's going to be late, because he's DSP.
And it's Sony.
Actually, he's not going to be late. He's going to be playing the stupid-ass music.
Who's, like, synonymous with good RPGs. How do you not talk about...
Gran Autismo.
Ni no Kuni. So, for me, I was pretty confused that they focused on certain things but not others. It was almost like they really wanted this conference to only be an hour long for some reason, and they didn't show off some of the games.
I really wanted this video to be like 5 minutes long. Instead, it's 40 fucking minutes of a misinformed madman rambling to the camera about what he thought he saw.
I think people would have loved to.
Oh
Even,
my
let's
God.
face it, Shenmue 3, probably not even close to being ready. But at least if you give us a taste, right? Give me a little taste.
Give it a
Then maybe
a little squirt.
there would have been something there, so I at least know that everything's going good with the development of the game, right? Now, also, and this is what also got me, no Bloodborne 2 at all, right? We all expected Bloodborne 2. We got nothing whatsoever.
4 years later, crickets. We're getting Elden Ring, the new banger from Software. It's probably gonna be pretty good.
About Bloodborne 2, which we're assuming is going to be a PS4 exclusive, but we didn't get any, nothing about it, okay? But the thing that really got me about the press conference, so I just announced all these games. I'm going to go through again every game. Ready? An expansion for Horizon Zero Dawn.
Okay, no, you don't need to go through it again. This is fucking disgusting. Bethesda. Let's go. And I can already see him from the thumbnail. He's making weird faces. Like he hates everything.
All right. Ladies and gentlemen, here we go. DSP here. I've just finished watching the Bethesda.
Why does he feel like he needs to like T-pose every time? It takes me so much effort to do it, and he just like standing there with a massive T-pose the entire time. This guy is special in a variety of ways.
Bethesda E3 2017 live press conference. There was a lot to talk about, although honestly, not a lot of it was good. I would have to say, of all the press conferences Bethesda's put out in the years that they've been doing their own separate press conference, this was by far the worst.
Oh no. So he's going to talk about 3 games. Quake Champions, that is a game that exists. The Evil Within that came out and it exists. It was, I don't know, mixed reactions, I guess. And Doom VR. I'm not watching this. There's no way. And I don't want to be doing this to you. Oh, Ubisoft. Okay, let's go. Let's go. I have a lot of hot takes for fucking Ubisoft.
Press conferences are Ubisoft, which we're going to talk about right now, and then later tonight is Sony, and I'll be covering that one as well. Tomorrow is Nintendo, but Nintendo isn't doing a formal conference. Instead, they're just going to do one of their like 30-minute long informative videos. So I'm probably not going to do a video like this for Nintendo. Instead, I'll talk about them later this week on my podcast. In fact, later this week on the podcast, I'll be kind of doing a recap of all the E3 happenings and let everyone know what I think the big announcements were and the best and worst and all kinds of stuff like that. So you'll definitely want to check that out later this week, okay? But for now, I just finished watching the Ubisoft press conference for E3 2017, and I want to recap it with you like usual, and I want to let you know what I thought was good, what was bad, give you my reactions. It was a pretty interesting press conference this year, just to start.
Really?
All right. There was no Aisha Tyler as the host of Ubisoft this year. Now, she's been the host on and off for the past 5+ years at E3.
Fucking name dropping Aisha Tyler. What the fuck?
So everyone always wonders, will she be the
I don't even know who that is.
host or not? No, this year she was not. They opted to pretty much just go with having the game devs who are in charge of the various projects introduce their own projects. So no overbearing comedy or anything like that. Although honestly, Aisha Tyler never really bothered me. But it's important to note, no Aisha Tyler this year. Okay. All right. So the show opened with the new Raving Rabbids crossover game with Mario. If you're not aware, this leaked last month because someone found a promotional piece of artwork for it. It's called Mario plus Rabbids Kingdom Battle. Now,
Okay, this is fucking worthless. Let's go to some games that are bigger.
challenging video games out there. So the question, this is
Challenging.
not
This dude is challenged by literally everything.
August 29th, okay? Showed some additions and tweaks. Is it revolutionizing the entire franchise? No, it's not. But do we need it to revolutionize? Not really. What we need is a solid entry in the series.
Oh, the greasiness. The grease.
Basically delivers rather than.
What is the
So
series?
we'll see how it goes. But it looks good to me. It looks solid, and I am excited for Assassin's Creed Origins.
Oh, Assassin's Creed Origins. I like this game a lot. Very nice game. I like it. It's fun.
And anything actually is fun to me. Like that is a hook that I think could sell this
Wait, what?
variety. But I'm not Gran Turismo. You don't hear me flipping out about it, or that I'm so excited that I need to play racing games. For me, I'm really not a car guy. I'm not. I'm
Not a
more of
car
like
guy.
every once in a while I'll play a racing game as like variety. But I'm not a guy that's
He's not a car guy to such extent that he expected the people from the BMW car dealership to call him and tell him to change his oil. That's how little of a car guy he is.
oh, I'm just jizzing in my pants because they got the new model. For example,
just
yesterday at
jizzing his
Microsoft's press
pants.
conference, Forza 7, here's the new Porsche that no one's ever seen before, a real car on stage. I didn't erupt with a giant boner because there was a fucking Porsche on stage. Same thing here, like, you would think that a game like The Crew 2, I wouldn't care, but actually watching the way that the game was presented, showing that there's a variety of vehicles that you can go between, that actually got my interest. A game where you can basically, it's more about driving anything, actually is fun to me. Like, that is a hook that I think could sell this game compared to other racing sims out there that just drive.
Driving anything. You can just drive you can pilot a plane and a car and a boat that are not very good to handle, I guess. I would still rather fly a plane in GTA 5 than in The Crew 2, if I have to be honest. It's because I tried it and it's nothing special. Like all the Ubisoft games, the handling of the cars is nothing special. It's nothing interesting, really. And they did it in all the Watchdog games, and they did it in the Crew series. It was never very much special or interesting or felt like it had some weight to it, you know. That's kind of what I think.
Driving a fucking car, you know what I mean? So, pretty interesting. I don't know, I'm not saying, by no means am I saying I'm definitely going to get The Crew 2, but I am interested in it. Like, it piqued my interest more than, say, any other racing game that I've seen in recent memory because of that variety of stuff, okay? Okay,
Oh, nice
they did
start.
announce that game's coming out early 2018, alright? So early 2018, The Crew 2, we'll have to see. South Park, The Fractured Butthole, they ran a trailer for it. There's some funny stuff in there. Now, you know, getting a little bit more of the humor. One of the girls from the show, I forget her. I keep forgetting her name. It's the girl that what's his name likes.
Wendy.
But I always forget her
Wendy.
name. But she's Call Girl. She's a superhero called Call Girl, which is actually funny. Obviously, it has to do with, you know, adult humor, inside joke. So I like that. And you know, they didn't show anything new, but we've seen The Fractured Butthole for like 3 freaking years.
I played this game too. It is okay. I enjoyed it, I think. But it kind of overstays its welcome, because it's like for South Park episodes, I'm used to watching like a 20-minute episode and kind of that's it. But if I have to play a couple of hours of a game, I don't really stick around all that much.
Now, so I don't think we needed to see anything new. And the game's coming out October 17th. So great. South Park: The Fractured Butthole. Can't wait for it. Thumbs up. Wendy. That's everyone's going crazy in the stream chat. Wendy. It's Wendy. It's Wendy. It was Wendy. Okay. Okay. Then they presented a new game with Elijah Wood, the actor, in it. And it was really weird because you couldn't really tell what it was. They didn't actually show any gameplay. But the premise of the game is that they found a way to transfer like the human existence or human.
Oh, transference. Let's see about this game, and I'm gonna skip his segment. Because like it's useless. Oh, it got a 7 out of 10 on Steam, so apparently it's pretty decent. It's a VR game. Okay, let's skip this.
For Black Flag, maybe they made a sequel to it. So there's 2 Assassin's Creed games coming out this year or something.
No, they would never do that.
But as you watch it more and more, you come to realize, no, actually, it's not that. It's actual, just seems to be like the pirate style gameplay.
Oh, it's Skull and Bones, that game that still hasn't come out.
From Assassin's Creed 4 Black Flag. So they show ships are fighting and shooting cannonballs back and forth and harpoons back and forth at each other, just like you did in that game. And then they show that you can board the ships, although they did not show any hand-to-hand combat, which makes me wonder if there's no hand-to-hand combat in this game. Is it just like kind of a naval simulator and it doesn't have that aspect? I don't know. They did say that there will be a 5 versus 5 team-based PvP mode, which led everyone to kind of believe that maybe this game is going to be an online-only multiplayer game and not have a single-player campaign. But that
that's how it's probably going to be.
was
like...
never said during this.
Okay, skip.
And I'm going to be honest with everyone. Yesterday,
Oh, he's going to be honest.
I talked about Sea of Thieves, right? I said Sea of Thieves looks like the kind of game that if you have a bunch of friends and you're playing together, it'll be.
So all of these games that are multiplayer-centric games or games that are more fun with friends, quote-unquote, they're not DSP's games because, obviously, he doesn't have any friends. And that's kind of how it is.
Fun as like a cooperative game similar to, say, Destiny or any of these other Ubisoft cooperative shooters that have been coming out in recent years. But it doesn't look to me like a game that is going to hook you on the gameplay alone. It has to be more about the social experience. This game, Skull and Crossbones, that gameplay looked good. So this game, and I was actually kind of saying in the stream chat, well, you know, too bad for Sea of Thieves, because if these games go head-to-head up against each other, I would play Skull and Crossbones way before I would play Sea of Thieves. It just looks like a much better game.
Wow, take a sip.
But it's really going to depend on when these games come out. This one in particular, they said is going to be fall 2018. What does that mean? Who knows? It's not a set release date.
No, that never happened. Debunk, that didn't happen. It literally never happened. Unless it's a different game that I didn't know would come out, but Skull and Bones by Ubisoft did not come out.
But now we know it's at least over a year away before we're even going to see Skull and Crossbones. So maybe if CFD
Skull and Crossbones, apparently. But no, I think it's Skull and Bones. He's just full of shit. Or maybe that was the name in the beginning.
comes up, ladies and gentlemen, we knew this. We knew this was coming. Fucking guys come out and start dancing. I swear to God, they look like they're wearing like cheesy Sub-Zero outfits from Mortal Kombat, and they're fucking dancing and shit. We're like, oh God, we know what this is. Then girls come out, the girlies are coming out, and they're dancing.
He's so fucking toxic. It's just, I can't even explain to you with words how I feel about it. He's just a toxic person. Look at how he talks about something that he doesn't care about. It's not even that something that offends him or something that he personally hates. It's just something he doesn't care about, and he talks about it like it's the worst fucking thing to happen ever. You have to come out and this fucking guy. Why is he's just inherently fucking toxic.
And then another girl comes out who I've never heard of before. Her name is Bebe.
Yeah, nobody's heard of fucking Darkside Phil except me. So I'm making the stream.
Okay. And she comes out, I'm singing, fucking singing, they're dancing and singing. Graciously.
How fucking toxic.
Graciously. This
Why am I toxic?
segment only lasted about 5 minutes. It was pretty short because previous segments for Just Dance at Ubisoft press conferences have lasted upwards of 10 to 15 minutes. Remember when, what was it, Jason Derulo or whoever the fuck that was, like 2 or 3 years
Jason Derulo
ago was there, and he sung the whole song, like 2 or 3 fucking songs, and they had like 47 dancers on the fucking stage, and you're like, well, time for me to go pop a fucking log because I don't want to watch this shit, and I don't care.
Pop a log? What? Is some designer drug?
At least this time around, it was short.
Or take a shit or something? Of course, it's fucking DSP. It's the first thing he can think of is taking a shit. He has some weird shit fetish.
So I don't know who the hell this girl was, but they say, oh, Just Dance is coming out, you know, soon in the fall 2018, and no one fucking cares. Again, I said this before, and I'll say it again. Much like the sports games that
Oh, nobody cares, by the way, for Just Dance. Nobody cares. Who cares about this fucking game? Nobody, really. That's why they presented it at the expo, because nobody cares.
EA promotes during their press conference.
And this is the guy that is going to bring you news. And I'm saying this for the 15th time today. This is the guy that's going to bring you the news, the coverage from E3, if you didn't watch anybody else. And he would want you to not watch anybody else and just come to his videos. So if you're a fan, you know DSP wants me to go to his fucking video about E3 and watch it. And then he says nobody cares. Nobody cares. And I don't care about Just Dance, but I'm not going to say nobody cares. It's an established fucking franchise with millions of people worldwide buying it, but nobody fucking cares.
Literally not a single fucking person who buys Just Dance is watching E3 to hear about the next Just Dance. They don't give a fuck. If they're going to buy it, they're just going to buy it. They don't need to have an advertisement for it. So it's a complete...
So what products that a company wants to sell shouldn't have a marketing? They should just come out. And you're not supposed to... Yeah, if you want to buy it, you should know it's coming out. This is some bullshit. It's just some bullshit. I'm not even gonna nitpick this or challenge this in any way. It's just some bullshit.
Complete waste of time to even advertise the game at the press
It's a
conference.
complete waste of time watching this fucking video because it's completely misinformed. He didn't tell me anything. He didn't say anything. He said Assassin's Creed exists, South Park exists, The Crew 2 exists, and he's very excited because you can drive more than just cars. Hasn't even gotten to Far Cry 5.
But they only did a very short presentation, so I gotta
Which, hot take, it wasn't very good.
actually say thumbs up to Ubisoft for actually fucking learning and saying, wow, let's make effective use of our time rather than waste everyone's time. So thumbs up. Okay.
This is a fucking 30-minute video.
Excuse me. It
Excuse
is time to do a couple quick shout outs because I saw that we had a few things
Oh,
going on. And
no. Get him out of here. No way.
I spent $1,000 on that mobile game, you know?
Wait, what? What?
That's going to make it make $5 billion. Much like it seems like that's kind of what it's going to be. And they're going to fight and stuff. Seems interesting. It actually reminds me of this game that I was playing a couple months ago.
Son of a bitch, what is the game?
Seems like it's one of those collectible card games where you can get different versions.
Oh, what seems like it?
Stream chat back up. All right, so then you hear the familiar voice. One of the guys who works on South Park. He does the voices for South Park, so you recognize his voice right away.
Okay.
And they're showing a mobile phone. What the hell? Yeah, a new South Park mobile game is coming out this year. It's called South Park Phone Destroyer, and it seems like it's one of those collectible card games where you can get different versions.
Okay. Oh, we should be back up. I think so. I think we're back. Okay? Sounds good. Everything says we're back, so I'll take it as back. Even YouTube says we're back. And Susan isn't really very nice person. Okay? Sounds good. Okay? Sounds good. We're back. We are back. We are, in fact, back. Okay.
Pricing or anything like that. I'm sure it's going to have microtransactions out the freaking
Also, I wasn't late today.
ass.
I was exactly
It's
on
going to make it
time.
$5 billion. Much like the Golden Boy guy that we had, that we heard on the EA press conference. I spent $1,000 on that mobile game. You know? Yeah, so who
Massive irony, by the way. Massive Shawn Michaels segment. I spent $1,000. What did he spend $1,000? Okay.
will be on next year's E3 the Ubisoft press conference announcing that they spent $1,000 on South Park Phone Destroyer.
Well, yeah, what about the WWE Champions? I don't know about that, you guys.
Okay.
Isn't it ironic? Says movie sign in chat. It is very ironic.
So then that's coming out 2017, but it didn't have a solid date. Just said 2017. Okay. Then they showed off this game called Starlight Battle for Atlas. And
I have no idea what
first
this
it
is.
seemed like an interesting
Quote unquote, nobody cares.
premise because it shows all of these like spaceships flying around and investigating alien worlds, and immediately everyone is like, "Oh my God, it's No Man's Sky 2! It's No Man's Sky all over again." Only then it shows there's an alien race called the Legion who you have to fight, and there's all this kind of interesting stuff. It already looks better than No Man's Sky, so everyone's like, "Wow, this game looks pretty good." And then all of a sudden, they show a toy. And first they show the Nintendo Switch.
toy.
Oh, the game's on the Switch. Okay. Then they show a toy, and this guy's like assembling pieces onto a spaceship toy, and he's got it on a controller. Now he's playing the game with a toy on his controller, and you're looking at it like, what the hell is this? Like, what am I watching right now? And sadly, as the trailer continues, the game basically degrades into, oh, this is a game where you have to constantly buy pieces in a store, physical toy pieces in a store, to build your spaceship. So it's like one of these nickel and dime games where you're going to spend $60 up front just to get the fucking game, and then they expect you to keep going back to the store and buying expansion pieces and everything. Or you don't have to get the pieces in the store. The guy emphasized this. You could also get them digitally.
This is also going to be a thumbnail. This is totally going to be a thumbnail. Because DSP, as you might know, he loves him some digital goods. Preferably in the form of sweaty men in tights. As people in the WWE are known.
Wow, so I can either buy
Wow, I can buy microtransactions? Tell me about it.
toys at the store, or
And once we can get to 1,000 subs, I'm gonna make some sweet-ass WWE Champions emotes for my members to use. That's gonna be hot as fuck.
I can go microtransactions out the ass to play your fucking game. I hate to say it, of all the games at the Ubisoft press conference, I give Starlight Battle for Atlas 2 thumbs down.
2 thumbs down, but WWE Champions gets 4 thumbs up.
Just for the business model. It's garbage. You shouldn't have to buy a game and then buy more shit to play the fucking game. It's, they're going the Skylanders route. They're going, they're trying to get it like the other company.
And chances are he was whaling back then. So, dude, massive X.
That have cashed in on this style of game. Ubisoft hasn't done that yet, and now they're trying to do it. I don't think it's going to work. I think the game's going to fail. It looks like shit to me. It's fucking stupid. I hate that business model. And they announced that it's coming out, I think, next year.
Hates the business model is a massive contributor to the business model being real. Very nice, DSP. This the good old hypocrisy feeling.
No, yeah, fall of 2018. That's coming out. Woohoo. Steep. For those who don't know, Steep, that game, that last year they advertised at E3 and you never really heard about again. Snowboarding game. It's a very niche title, meaning it's only going to appeal to a very small group of people who are into like winter sports. Is getting an expansion this December 5th. It's called Road to the Olympics, and they show this whole promo for it.
Wait, is DSP off today? I don't even know. What the fuck?
I honestly don't really give a crap. Who cares about Steep at this point, right? Like, I was something that maybe I was interested. I maybe checked out last year. I never did, and now I don't care. Excuse me. Okay, so now we're nearing the end of the Ubisoft press conference. They left the 2 heavy hitters for last. The first one was Far Cry 5, which we all kind of saw the teaser for just a couple weeks ago. It's set in America, rural America, a small town that's been taken over by this cult, okay?
Okay, the DSP stream is up, so he's not off today. Because I don't care about his stupid schedule. I never read it.
Okay. And so, similar to other Far Cry games, yes, you're going to be infiltrating bases, you're going to be infiltrating different areas that have been taken over by this cult and trying to take them out one by one. But the difference in this Far Cry is that now it's, number one, you actually get AI counterparts. There's a dog, and the dog named Boomer, and there's also other AI.
I hated this. I hated this, the AI, because the issue with me with Far Cry is that the AI is terrible. Both the enemy and the AI, the ally AI is terrible. So it even makes you feel more isolated from the real feeling of immersion when you interact with people who are obviously, and they're trying to almost convince you that they're not real. There's such a bad AI that I just can't play that game. And Far Cry 4 was pretty chill because there wasn't any of that. You just get to shoot dudes that were pretty badly programmed. And big ups to Officer Sanders in chat. No, there's not name, but you guys know what Officer Sanders is. Also, I need to go to the bathroom, so listen to some DSP, and I'll be right back.
People you can recruit who could be like snipers or support classes, actually a guy that can come in with a plane, and they actually help you, and you can command them around to help you and do support as you infiltrate these bases. So that's a new one. But also they announced the game will be full co-op with friends. If you want to play the entire campaign cooperatively and have friends come in and be your co-op partners, you can also do that as well. So that looked pretty neat. The gameplay, it looked like Far Cry. You know what I mean? Like it didn't really showcase anything that was like, oh my god, that's a first for Far Cry. No, it was more like typical Far Cry, just in a new setting. So I guess we'll see, you know, what actually happens, because we didn't really get much more information about the game. I know it has a release date. I think it's early 2018, excuse me. But more than likely, we're probably going to get more data on the game as we get closer to its release, okay? All right, ladies and gentlemen, now, I said Bethesda, oops. To say that Ubisoft left the best for last would be an understatement. I'm about to announce something. If you didn't see this press conference, you're going to be shocked. I was fucking shocked to shit. I really was. So here you go. Get ready, okay? So, they start playing a trailer. They're like, oh, a new IP or something. What is it? And it shows this pig-like humanoid sitting at a table. Very realistic graphics, by the way. Very detailed. And on the other side of the table is a monkey-like human. So almost like mutants or aliens or something.
And as always, I come back and DSP is talking about nonsense. Wait, are we down again? What the fuck? Whoa. Okay, we should be back. Huh? Yeah, it should be a little laggy, but I have no idea what's happening. My connection should be okay. It was streaming at 12,000 bits per second, so very nice. Okay, I think we're back. Let's just keep going.
And they're doing a deal for some kind of like little golden trinket, probably a collectible, and it seems like the monkey was hired by this pig guy to get him this trinket. So the pig guy...
A monkey and a pig guy. Wait, I need to hear this again. I'm sorry that I'm gonna make you listen to this again, but come on.
I'm about to announce something. If you didn't see this press conference, you're gonna be shocked. I was fucking shocked to shit.
I even rewinded completely back the time, so yeah, we're not gonna waste any time.
I really was. So here you go. Get ready. Okay, so they start playing a trailer. They're like, oh, a new IP or something. What is it? And it shows this pig-like humanoid sitting at a table. Very realistic graphics, by the way. Very detailed.
Yo,
and on the other side of the table is a monkey-like human. So almost like mutants or aliens or something. And they're doing a deal for some kind of like little golden trinket, probably a collectible. And it seems like the monkey was hired by this pig guy to get him this trinket. So the pig guy's picking it up, and all of a sudden it starts melting. And he goes, huh? And the monkey goes, yeah, it's fucking chocolate for you, you fucking pig. And whoa, like I wasn't expecting them to start dropping F-bombs in a game trailer, right? So
whoa, edgy game
trailers. He grabs his money for this, and he has a claw, a zip claw, I think like Bionic Commando, and he zips his way away, and he climbs up a building, and he jumps onto this aerial craft that's flying through this giant city, futuristic city, and there's an African girl. I want to say that because I don't know if she's African American, but she was black, so.
Nice, thanks DSP. An African girl.
An African girl driving this vehicle, and he jumps out, and they're trying to escape. All of a sudden, the police show up. Now there's a big police chase. Then they jump off their vehicle. They kick the police out of their own police vehicle, and they hightail it out of there. And by the way, the entire time, the monkey is literally going, fuck a fuck a fucking a fucking 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 fuck 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 fuck. I even wrote down fuck the game, because the guy says fuck probably about a dozen times at least during this trailer. So obviously I'm like, I had some feelings in the back of my head. I was like, what could this be? What could this game be? Because it's not gameplay, it's all just a trailer. And the first initial thought I had in my head when I saw a pig-like humanoid, I thought maybe it's like Beyond Good and Evil 2. because, you know, obviously one of the races in Beyond Good and Evil 1 was these pig-like creatures.
Pig-like creatures. I'm looking at him. It's the guy I'm watching his Twitch. It's the pig-like creature man.
But I'm thinking to myself, no, it can't be Beyond Good and Evil 2, because number one, it's been almost 15 years since the first one came out. And
I mean, if there is any human being alive who the term pig-like would apply to, it's DSP.
Two, because they're saying fuck every 5 seconds. Like, the game was not a really, like, seriously adult-oriented game, so I was, like, totally thrown for a loop. So then, the monkey guy and this girl arrive back at home base, which is a bigger, you know, spacecraft out in space.
Dude, I don't want this fucking narration of what happened. Is there anything
Nostalgic feelings
valuable
for a game
in
like
this?
that.
Oh, nostalgic,
And
okay.
if you're going to make a sequel 14 years later, you've got to make it adult-oriented because we're all adults now, right? So I think that's what they...
Except DSP, he's still a little man-child. He still begs for money. We're all adults, DSP is a child.
did is they were part of more than a decade. And finally, you know, a company gets enough confidence in the project to put the assets behind it to revive the series like that, and you get that massively positive reaction at E3, you're gonna get emotional. So I totally understood this guy's reaction as he walked out. And then they also had a woman come out, complete SJW archetype, the big...
Oh my god, he hates these people, as we saw a little bit earlier. He hates these people, the SJW archetype. He despises them for seemingly no reason, because if they decided to quote-unquote cancel him, they would just do that in a split second, but I don't know why he hates them all that much.
Googly glasses, the short dyed haircut, you know what I mean, like everything. And of course, it's going to be a diversified cast of both animal hybrids and all kinds of races and creeds and everything. And I'm like, oh boy, well, now we know, we see where this is going. It's going to have that. Not to say that that's bad, but I certainly...
He's having the quartering segment. Not to say that it's bad, but I fucking hate it and it sucks and it shouldn't be happening.
I hope that they don't like go out of their way to be overbearing with the SJW shit during the course of this game.
Come on, you didn't even... You saw a black person. Oh my god. A diverse cast of animals and humans. Wow. Fantastic.
So, they start talking about the game, and they actually announce the game is actually a prequel. All right, now it's important to note, because in the trailer, I thought maybe that was Jade, the main character of Beyond Good and Evil, piloting the ship, and they showed her green eyes, but no, maybe this is going to be like one of her, you know, predecessors, who eventually, you know, through the genealogy, you get to Jade. So apparently this is the backstory of how the universe populated with all these animal-like hybrid creatures and everything. And you know what? I'll be honest here.
He's gonna be fucking honest here.
I'm actually okay with that.
Oh yeah, he's okay with that. Come on.
Usually I'm not. Usually when you announce...
Oh, usually when it's a prequel, you know. And I kind of have this syndrome too. I'm not in love with prequels, but it's pretty fine.
Oh, it's a prequel? I'll lose my shit. Because I hate prequels. Because prequels mean that you're going to know that certain things can't happen. For example, you're going to know that someone in the genealogy line of Jade has to survive because she gets born. It's just cause and effect, right? When you watch the fucking Star Wars prequels, you know that Anakin Skywalker ain't gonna fucking die because he becomes Darth Vader in the next trilogy.
Come on.
And it's kind of the same thing for prequels with games. I hate prequels because you kind of know certain things can't happen, all right? But for a game franchise that hasn't been around for 14 years, I think you have to realize that most people who end up playing Beyond Good and Evil 2 aren't even going to know the plotline or remember the characters and the stories from the original Beyond Good and Evil anyway.
Yeah, but then they're going to make a second game. Come on.
So regardless of the fact that this is a prequel, I think it's okay. Enough time has passed that they're kind of starting fresh. They want to redesign this universe in a new and creative way so that maybe now they can continue the franchise on later. I'm okay with that. I think it makes sense.
Yeah, I mean, it does kind of make sense.
So, then to end the press conference, they had literally all of their game developers come up on stage together as a group, like a group shot, and said, thank you for watching our press conference. We really hope that you enjoyed it, and, we'll see ya. And let me tell you, so far, I've seen EA, I've seen Microsoft, and I've seen Bethesda. By far, the Ubisoft press conference was the best one at E3. Now, there's one...
Really? They're usually not very good. Yeah.
Major one left, Sony, and Sony typically does a really good job. But Ubisoft this year, they hit it on all gears. What they basically did, they showed you every possible great game that they have in development, right? They gave you updates on games that were still in development. They didn't waste time on the bullshit you don't care about, like Just Dance. They did a really quick segment on that. And they gave a lot of time to this stuff that you'd be interested in, like, excuse me, Far Cry 5 or Beyond Good and Evil 2. That a big bombshell announcement, right? So for me, this definitely is the best press conference so far of E3. Will Sony...
Must have been a miserable E3 in 2017. Now let's see some other fucking DSP gaming bullshit from Microsoft Bethesda 2021. Let's watch the latest one, I guess. It's 1 hour 15 minutes, obviously, because he doesn't give a fuck about anything. And there's the 2012 coverage that he actually went to, which I don't really feel like watching. If I gotta be super honest with you guys, I don't feel like watching this because it's just miserable old DSP videos, and old DSP videos are just fucking nonsense and terrible sound, and this kind of bothered me. So yeah, let's go into this.
Ladies and gentlemen, DSP here.
DSP here. What is this? 720? Oh, 480. I'm not gonna go all the way up. I'm gonna go to 720 because stream might go down. I don't know if this is my fault or YouTube's fault that we're having issues today, but I don't know. Whatever.
Ladies and gentlemen.
Ladies and gentlemen. And no fucking comments and no timestamps, so good fucking luck.
The biggest gaming time of the year, when all the gaming news releases, is finally in full swing. E3 2021 is happening right now. Today is actually Sunday, June 13th, 2021. And big conferences are going down digitally. There is no physical E3 again for the second year in a row. I just finished watching the Microsoft and Bethesda co-press conference live as they broadcasted it on YouTube. And I have a lot to say. It was a 90-minute presentation, and this was the first time ever that there was a co-press conference between the two companies because Bethesda has...
Yeah, I don't like the Disney Star Wars films at all. I don't like them in the slightest. I would rather not watch them ever again.
Now been purchased by Microsoft. So there were a lot of questions, right? I mean, we all had these big looming questions. Would every game presented be under Game Pass?
Start talking about games.
Like maybe a futuristic astronomy, I don't know.
And look at how much he values your time. Now, the Microsoft and Bethesda press conference for this year is an hour and a half. It's a full fucking movie. That's a full-length movie. Give me a fucking break. I don't even want to watch this, honestly, because we're not going to get anywhere with it. And I would rather watch something shorter. Wow, I can just watch my own stream. Okay. DSP's own man rant on Microsoft E3. Let's just watch this, like 14 minutes. When is this dude starting?
I am the very model of an individual with gout. I am now doing well since this condition I know much about. I know that I have too much uric acid that forms crystals,
The fuck is this?
which are needle-shaped and mostly found inside my toes and other joints. I had toe pain and redness from those nasty little needle points. The gout attack has passed for now. The pain has stopped in all my joints. But I still have some risk of gout attacks with crystals there inside. There inside. So now I vow to use my wise physician's counsel as my guide.
Fuck you.
I'm very confused right now, as Kat would say.
What's going on?
Corporations for everything that we have in
Corporation.
Oh, corporation, okay.
It's like this is the...
So this from 2019. The rant, apparently.
Obviously, it's supposed to be a criticism of modern society, but at the same time, we're sitting here watching a live broadcast from a major corporation, and I'm like, boy, is this like ironic that this is the theme of a game? This is how they open up the press conference, because this whole thing is going to be about 2 hours of shilling for corporations, and this is how you open that we owe everything to corporations, right? Excuse me. Now Phil Spencer, head of Xbox, comes out to a raucous ovation in the auditorium, and I'm like, when did this guy become like a rock star? Like, I understand that people like the guy. He's a very personable guy. He's got a good air. You know, when he presents himself at E3, he seems like a fun guy. But when did this guy become like a guy that's like massively loved?
Hey, big up Shiloh. Welcome to the stream.
Press conferences have been lackluster. Their exclusive games have been terrible. What has Microsoft done in the last 3 years that you love Phil Spencer? So to me, like this raucous ovation in the auditorium, I'm like, okay, I guess you're just happy to be here or something. I can't imagine what they're actually cheering for because we don't even know what's going to happen during this conference. It was really silly. Okay.
I mean, I'll be honest, just like any other normal human, yes, am I jealous of certain people and of people who are successful and whatever? Of course I am.
Of course.
Of course I'm going to have jealousy. That's a natural human emotion for those who have more than you. You're always going to have that natural kind of jealousy of those who maybe have...
DSP, when does this dude fucking start? Jesus Christ. It's just the who let the souls out for like 30 minutes straight.
Like that. So basically he says, we're going to present 60 games today. And immediately I said to myself, Yeah, they're going to present 60 games, but they're going to do exactly what they do every year. They're actually going to probably present like 20 games, and then they'll show 40 games in a montage of like 5 seconds each game, so you have no idea what the hell they are, and you'll have no intelligible idea of what kind of a game this even is, but they'll claim that they presented it today, okay? They do this every year. Then they tease a new horror game that no one had ever heard of before. It shows a dog who had disappeared. Then all of a sudden, guy and a dog going into a wood. You're trying to find the dog, chasing you through the woods. You end up in a cabin. The Blair Witch changes. All of a sudden, now there's like dog, and the whole thing changes. Like the kid who had disappeared, chasing you through the woods. You end up in a jump scare. It's pretty creepy to me. At the same time, I've had some pretty bad experiences with demons and things chasing you through the woods. So I'm kind of skeptical, but at the same time, I do like playing this style of games.
Okay.
So I'm kind of excited. But I gotta ask a question. Why the Blair Witch? What the fuck?
Why not? Because they want to get it back after 20 years. It was made in like 1999 or something, and they want to get the franchise back because they had this sequel that wasn't very good. And also, thanks for the info. DSP starts in 10 minutes.
What does that mean? You know, now I'm like, what does that, you know, this is wild and insane. What is going on? Moving on. And then all of a sudden they show this guy like out in the desert, and he looks up and it's fucking Keanu Reeves standing over him. Whoa. And then the whole thing goes black, and Keanu Reeves actually walks out from the back onto the stage. And like, holy shit, so Keanu Reeves is like a main character in Cyberpunk, which he did not know until today. I guess that was a big surprise that they kept under wraps, and you know, that's good. I mean, it's a good way to keep it under wraps. And then, now here's the hilariousness. I just told you guys like a couple minutes ago, Phil Spencer was on stage saying, we're going to present 60 games today. They then proceed to roll their typical E3 montage, which I'm not even kidding, I should have counted, probably was 20 to 30 games. That was just 4 or 5 second snippets. You have no idea what any of these games are. It's like, I called it, and then they fucking did it. Every year they do the same shit, and then they claim like they presented so much, when in reality they don't. Showing you 2 seconds of a game is not enough for you to understand it. So maybe they just shouldn't bother with that. They should say, oh, if you want to find out about all these fun games, come over here and watch it online or whatever. Because for me, it's like kind of a waste of time. This big five-minute montage of stuff I have no idea what I just saw. You know what I mean? And some of the games look good. Jasper will be here for the
Oh, DSP's back. Okay, let's go.
He'll behave or not. I don't think
Let's see if he's gonna behave, you guys.
For an Alan Wake stream yet, or at least he hasn't been here very long. Usually he'd come in at the tail end of one. So I wonder if anything on the screen would get his attention, right? So,
Oh, Jasper is here tonight,
Hello,
you guys. Hello, hello.
how's everyone doing? I hope you're having a good weekend. Whether you've been tuning into my streams or not, we certainly had an eventful weekend here. We had one day full of glitches in Alan Wake, right? Complete nonsensical, ghostly, haunted stuff.
So YouTube's been a little bit glitchy today. If you get some issues, then it should sort itself out eventually.
And yesterday I had some fun Far Cry stuff. You know, last night I tweeted on my Twitter at They Call Me DSP. I said, you know, I really don't understand people who are
Why does he sound drunk?
slamming Far Cry 6 at this point. Because for me, okay, I'm playing this game, and you know me, I try to approach everything with an open mind, and I try to approach everything fairly. I'm not going to go in with preconceived notions. I'm not going to go in with, you know, all these kind of bias. So I go into Far Cry 6. Now, I've played every Far Cry. Let me call that out. I've played every single one. The only one I didn't play was the expansion for 5 that they released not even a year after the release of the original Far Cry 5, because I felt like it was just more of the same, which it was. It was a ripoff. They're basically charging you for a new game when it wasn't a new game. It was the same exact game with a skin over it. But outside of that, I've played every single Far Cry game. Far Cry 1 through 5 and Primal.
But you guys, if he's drunk now, that means it's the morning. Like, he actually sounds kind of drunk. Maybe because I've been listening to him in 125 this entire time, and this is alive.
Because, let's be honest, this game doesn't evolve that much, right? It pretty much stays true to a formula that seems to work, because every time Far Cry gets a new release, it sells like hotcakes. All right? There's no denying that. Every time Far Cry releases, it sells. If it didn't, they wouldn't keep pumping them out, right? So, there definitely seem to be 2 different schools of thought on Far Cry 6. One school of thought is, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Hey, if you keep pumping out the same style of game and it keeps selling well and people seem to like it, then why change it? On the flip side of that, some people are basically saying we're tired of it. It's the same thing for the 6th time. Actually, in reality, it's the same thing for about the 8th or 9th time if you count the expansions. And people are basically upset at this game, saying it's too similar to the previous outings, okay? So here's the deal. I'm playing Far Cry 6.
A snort and a squeak.
Here's my opinion on it after 6 hours. Best graphics I've ever seen in a Far Cry. Now, I'm playing on the Xbox Series X, which the newly added HD textures.
Obviously, it's the newest game. Of course, it's going to look best graphics. And all
Island visuals, so many, plants and things moving in the breeze. The wildlife is cool. Everything. I can't even say a negative thing about the graphics. They're good as shit. Okay? They're so good. A protagonist that actually has a personality and voice lines instead of a silent protagonist, which is one of the major complaints about Far Cry 5. Now we got a protagonist that actually has a character to him or her. I picked her because that was the default. I assume that's the character they wanted. They wanted a female.
Oh my god,
Okay.
that was wet as fuck.
Gameplay mechanics. The most refined of any Far Cry game I've ever played. Easy to jump into. Easy to understand. However, has nuances and complications to the point where you're going to want to go a little bit further in than just rushing in and doing silly shit. You can modify your weapons now, which wasn't a thing previously, but now you can add all these different kinds of mods to weapons that make them better, or add actual things like damage over time and stuff like that. Customizing your loadout is a huge thing in this game that wasn't necessarily a huge thing in previous Far Cry games. The base takeovers now feel more unique because unlike every previous Far Cry game where it was like, okay, it's an outpost with a tower, kill all the guys, climb the tower. Now every base seems unique and different.
Wait, no.
The way that
the
they're laid
bases...
out, the way that the treasure's in them. Okay, it's pretty cool.
What? No. That's the towers are different from the bases.
Similar to the story of most other Far Cry games, but I would argue has more unique characters and interesting things to it early on. Like other Far Cry games, you play like 10 hours, 15 hours in, and you've run into maybe like 5 unique NPCs that are cool. In this game, I've already run into a ton, right? All these different characters with their own personalities and little side stories. It's kind of interesting, and I feel so far, the characters are well written. Is the main story overall well written? Well, it's pretty much the same story of every Far Cry game, admittedly. At the same time, that doesn't mean it's bad. It just means it's the same.
No, it's...
The way I would compare this...
Concept and story is completely different stuff. The stories of all Far Cry games are distinctly different.
Great trilogies of games over time, right? You played Halo 1 through 3. You played God of War 1 through 3. You know what I mean?
Oh my god. Disgusting snorts today.
In those franchises. Usually improves upon the previous iteration, right? Refines the gameplay, better graphics, continuing story, etc., right? When you're playing God of War 3, would you argue that it's not a very good game because it's too similar to God of War 2?
The king of arguments.
You know what I'm saying? Because that's what I'm seeing here with
terrible takes, terrible opinions.
Similar to the previous games, absolutely, it's the same formula, but it's the best graphics, the most refined game.
That means nothing.
A great story. Like, everything about the game has been fine-tuned and tweaked to be the best.
Gameplay is not the most refined. The physics could get 1,000,000 times better. Come on.
Identical to
the AI could get 1,000,000 times better. Shut up.
It's got new additions. It's got things that have been improved that it is not the same game, okay? Is it the same formula? Absolutely. But it's definitely not Far Cry 5.
Oh my God.
I can tell you right now, 6 hours into Far Cry 6, I'm having more fun than when I was 6 hours into Far Cry 5.
You're getting more money,
see what
maybe.
I'm saying? If you're making this argument that every sequel is the same as the game before it, you as well say that these franchises should just end after the first game.
Nobody is making this argument, DSP. You're fighting invisible people.
6 games. So you might say, okay, this is ridiculous now. 6 games and they're all the same formula. But at the very same time, absolutely this game has improvements. If you're saying this game has no improvements, you're literally ignoring
Stream kind of died.
Improvements for the sake of making an argument that's an invalid argument. Okay? Now you can argue, okay, it has improvements, but they don't add much. That's different. But actually saying, oh, it's the same game, that's actually false. The game has definitive changes and improvements to it this time around that make it feel fresh.
I
definitely feel that having the customizable weapons with these new add-ons like poison browns and stuff, and the armor that has different perks and stuff, it makes it feel different. The companions as well. I'm not saying there weren't companions in previous games, but having all these silly animal companions is kind of funny too. You know, it definitely adds to the game. I'm certainly not saying they haven't innovated much. They didn't. They definitely stuck to the formula that they know works, but they put effort into this. This isn't like, oh, we copy pasted on our PC and here's a new game. No, they actually tried. They genuinely tried, I feel.
They literally did not try. It's the same formula and the same execution of improvement,
They
of
wanted
meaningless
Far Cry 6 to go
improvements.
back to Far Cry 1. Going back to
What?
tropical islands like exactly how Far Cry 1
Dude.
was, but now implementing all
Come
of the
on.
changes they've done over 6 games, right? So it feels like
No,
you're playing
come
Far Cry
on. This
1
fucking
was
scam.
meant, or maybe like the culmination of where they wanted it to go.
Oh no. It's not real life.
You can do a
Ah,
story-based mission where you run into some unique characters and have some interesting objectives to do. You could do side content. You could expand your settlements. You know what I mean? Like, there's a lot to do in the game. It's not just, oh, just take over bases constantly. That's good. I've already got, 6 hours in, I got the wingsuit. Now I can travel around more easily. I can, like, zip down into certain areas and stuff. And it's really neat. I'm having a good time with it. So,
you made 0 arguments, by the way, that were
criticisms
supported by anything. Then I enjoy this more.
that
I'll argue.
You
Argue
really
the
should argue
argument.
it towards other franchises.
Yeah,
Like,
go
for
fuck
example,
yourself.
Assassin's Creed has literally released the same game 3 times.
It's the same fucking company.
If you play Assassin's Creed Valhalla and you compare that to Assassin's Creed Origins, there's not much of a difference at all.
There's a lot of a difference.
The same combat mechanics. It's got the same bird mechanics to see stuff. The same traversal. Like, everything's almost exactly the same. The setting is the major difference.
Oh, the snort is
you-
the difference. It's not the setting. There's so many. Oh my god. This,
Same thing.
and he's arguing with himself.
I disagree. I think that's false. I think that this is
my
them
God.
actively trying to make the franchise better. And I don't like seeing people pan a game for the sake of jumping on a bandwagon when they don't have any valid arguments.
What? You
Hey,
don't
ask
have
Lu-
any.
Night.
What?
Why would you say you don't like this game, or what's wrong with this game? Oh, it's the same game from Ubisoft. Well, did you actually play it? No. Okay, so then you don't know. All you did is you heard other people, basically kind of attack the game in reviews. You didn't fucking play the game.
I thought the game was amazing. The Shill said it was amazing.
So anyway, I'm really enjoying Far Cry 6. I had a good time with it yesterday. I'm looking forward to more of it tomorrow on the main gameplay stream. I hope you guys will join me for that. But anyway, so Alan Wake is going well. Interesting, suspenseful.
It's fucking
plot.
terrible.
And
He
Far Cry
had
6
absolutely no fucking arguments about this. He just said, if you don't like it, I like it, and you're listening to the wrong people, listen to me, believe me. And that's it. That was all his fucking arguments. He can't argue to save his life.
Alan Wake Remastered.
Dude, it's fucking terrible, man. And these were some terrible fucking takes. And he gave Valhalla compared to Origins. And I love Valhalla. I spent 100 and something hours playing it. I made it to the highest level. I haven't got the DLCs yet, but I'll do that eventually. And this dude is comparing Valhalla to Origins. It's the same thing. It's the same recipe. You add something new that doesn't really influence everything all that much, but you can say you added something new. And the graphics look good. Well, that's kind of the thing. He argues with himself this whole
I
time.
remember much of the plot in the middle of this game. I actually remember the end of the game, but I don't remember the middle at all. So I have no idea what's coming up in the plot next. Okay, which is good. I only played this game once 11 years ago. And not to say that the game it wasn't memorable. It absolutely was. But it's cool now to replay it 11 years later and to be reimagining or experiencing this story again for a second time. Now, I'm having a lot of fun with this. However, I really hope we don't run into any more game bugs. That game bug on Friday almost ended the playthrough. It was so bad.
Yeah, he was complaining about people being able to play Far Cry early, and you shouldn't trust them because they would say it's the best game ever. And he comes here and has 0 arguments, and just says, well, I like the game. If you don't like it, then you didn't fucking play it. Thank you, DSP. Thank you for the fucking valuable argument.
Okay.
Snort.
So,
Okay.
for me, I hope we don't get any more crazy bugs like that. Although, admittedly, man, it was pretty fun. It was a silly thing, right? It was. It was silly. I feel like the game was haunted, right? Now, one other, I'm going to keep saying this every time I play Alan Wake, guys, so I hope you'll listen up. Unlike other playthroughs, Alan Wake, I opted to leave the the licensed music in the playthrough.
Begging
because I feel
segment
that
coming.
the licensed music really adds to the game. Okay? I do. It's the atmosphere of the game, and also some of the songs actually have to do with the plot of the game. I really felt like leaving the music in made sense. However, because I've left that music in, all of the videos of the Alan Wake playthrough are getting claimed on YouTube for copyright, and I'm making no money on the playthrough on YouTube at all. Now, do I make a ton of money on ad revenue on YouTube? No, I do not. Okay, just admittedly, I do not make much money on ad revenue. However, number one, this time of year, there's more ads and more profitable ads on YouTube than there is the rest of the year. So right now is usually when I make
this
better
sucks.
ad revenue on YouTube, because it is this time of year that we're heading into the holidays. There's more ads to go around. In addition to that, it's not a lot, but it adds.
I'm gonna talk about Valhalla after this segment.
On YouTube, it runs a few ads and make a couple bucks. But with all the videos I got on YouTube, it adds up to at least be some supplemental income for me. It's important that I get that income. For Alan Wake, I have foregone that income for the sake of the playthrough. So,
for the sake of the playthrough,
if you're enjoying the Alan Wake Remastered playthrough, if you're watching it on demand on YouTube, not on stream, please check out the description of the videos, and please contribute in an...
Yeah, go fuck yourself. Nobody would want to watch ads on your channel anyways. Get ad block.
Maybe buying something off my Teespring store. Whatever it may be, it all helps. And I really appreciate those who have gone out of their way. There's been 2 people so far who specifically reached out to me and said, hey, I'm contributing because I want to help you out here. You know, I want to help you out so that way...
His stream died again. Big ups to YouTube headquarters.
Oh my God! Fair enough. I really appreciate people who are doing that, okay? Now, if you're here live on stream and you're enjoying the playthrough as well, by all means, please contribute too, because, as you know, I'm not making anything behind the scenes on the videos, you know? It's not like it usually is. So, if you like the playthrough, you like the fact I'm doing it this way, please support it, okay?
He says he doesn't make money off YouTube anyways, like a lot. He makes like this much, right? Remember? No, you...
We'll see how far we get today, okay? Later tonight, the late stream tonight.
It's fucking trash. So Valhalla, I played that game for this long because I enjoyed it. Actually, I enjoyed it. I found it interesting to explore and do stuff. However, the combat is not very good. He's gonna be honest.
Especially after having played Returnal earlier this year and being told...
Yeah, I don't care about this fucking bullshit.
Okay.
Now, they tried to make Assassin's Creed Valhalla last the next couple of years, which I don't think is reasonable, because I don't think the mechanics and the AI and the combat is good enough for a long-lasting game. I think it's pretty much like a one-off game. Come on, it's pretty basic.
I actually feel that... Oh my God, look at that jump scare on the stream.
Whoa,
I actually feel
$10. Yeah, what a scary fucking
twice as good of a game as Returnal. I seriously believe that. Returnal seems to ignore all of the lessons that Hades would have taught you about what's a good roguelike game, and made a game that just was completely subpar. I would argue the only better thing about Returnal is the graphics. Outside of that, the story's worse.
Fucking graphics.
The core gameplay elements are worse. And yes,
I just want to turn off this stream every time I hear graphics.
So now, here we are, over 35 hours into my run of Hades. We are in the 10th run right now, meaning I'm well on my way to actually getting my 10th completion, my 10th clear. Supposedly, from what I'm to understand, without spoilers, because I was not spoiled, thank God, I guess what happens is when you clear the game the 10th time, you get the story conclusion. All right? Now, what does that mean?
What does that mean? The story's gonna naturally end the way it was supposed to end. What the fuck, man?
The whole game. Where it was, oh, you were trying to get to your mother, find out what really happened with Persephone and why she left the underworld, and see what's going on. All that apparently finally comes to a conclusion, okay? And that's good. I've been playing for 35 hours. I'd like an actual conclusion to the story, all right? But that being said, apparently the game's not over. Apparently, if you really like Returnal and you're hooked... Actually, I said Returnal, oh God. Apparently, if you really like Hades and you're hooked on the gameplay loop, you could keep going. And apparently, there's more to do in the game. Now, the truth is, there is tons. I mean,
this fucking garbage content.
Weapon builds. And on top of that...
Meanwhile, the stream is dying and coming back to life and dying again, all at the same time. It's pretty entertaining. It's more interesting than watching DSP.
On top of the base weapon has like 3 or 4 other builds. So you can potentially play this game, I would argue, for hundreds of hours before you see every weapon build, right? So, I'm really having a good time here with the game. I really
But
enjoy
I thought he hated repetitive games that is just the same level all over again, and you just play it again and again.
continuing on.
I don't know.
Now, I don't know how much more plot the game could possibly have after you beat the main storyline.
I love this slide that shows his Project 7 deal where he cropped out literally everybody else from the image. It's very funny.
If that's the case, maybe I will go back to Hades at some point, okay? But for now, I mean, I've played the game for 35 freaking hours. What I'd like to see is essentially the story conclusion tonight. Now, it is a 2-hour stream tonight, and I'm already partially into my 10th run. So that being said, I may beat it sooner rather than later, and if I do, I'll just keep playing us in the highest degree. You might say, well, why am I disappointing my viewing audience? Well, it's because basically I haven't been playing Lost Judgment at all. Like, I didn't even realize this. It was been a week since I had played Lost Judgment last when I played it last night.
Oh my god, fucking people went back to complain to DSP because he didn't play Lost Judgment. This fantastic, amazing, hot game. That is probably a pretty good game, but not a good game to watch DSP watching.
It's a great game. I'm having a ton of fun with it. Admittedly, when I play Lost Judgment, it doesn't bring mainstream viewership. I'm not going to get tons of viewers.
Always the views. And the tips are low, he's going to say. It's a slow stream. It's a slow day.
Chill with me. And that's why I feel like the game does fit more into the night streams than the daytime streams. And in addition to that, it's for an audience that just like that Japanese style of game. You know, the games that have come out from this studio like Yakuza and Judgment. They like that style of game. They want to see me play it. But admittedly, it's not super action-packed. There's a lot of dialogue and a lot of side content. And so it is more of a relaxing stream than anything else.
A relaxing stream. So where he bitches about how much money he has to get and, oh my god, it's been 40 minutes since the tip, you guys. Come on.
Many people reached out to me and said, Phil, we are so disappointed in you as a streamer. We can't believe that you would have basically ignored this amazing game. A game that, admittedly, you might think is one of the best games of the year. You know, Judgment 2 years ago.
He sounds like he's mocking them. Many people said to me, I'm very disappointed of you as a streamer. They've been saying this since, like, you've been streaming.
Not even playing the sequel. I'm basically ignoring it, playing all these other games instead. And people really kind of gave it to me this week, saying, what's your problem? Like, what are you doing? You're losing your way here. We tune into you to watch you play the games that other people don't play. There's not a lot of content creators out there that are going to do a long-form playthrough of Lost Judgment. And we want to see you do it, and you're disappointing us in a huge way.
Yeah, this it's a massive straw man. He is talking to imaginary people here. He just invented this person.
Games that I'm playing. It just so happens this week was a rough week because people really wanted to see the Battlefield beta. And that took up a night stream. And of course, I'm trying to finish Hades. So between those games, those are taking up night streams for me when I be focusing in on other games, you see. But that's an excuse, and I apologize. I'm not going to make an excuse. I'm just going to tell you guys I'm sorry, and I promise to do better. So I made a commitment to you. Last night on the stream, if you were here for Lost Judgment, I made a commitment, okay? And the commitment is thus. I will be playing Lost Judgment at least 2 times.
The commitment is thus.
Not 3 times a week moving forward. It will now be my major focus on the late streams. And if you tuned in, a really great stream last night. It was 2 hours of chill fun. We made major progress in the school stories. We actually did tons of stuff in the robotics, and we unlocked the skateboarding, and we did a whole bunch of the skateboarding stuff to get started. I was like, wow, this is fun. I like the variety of the side content in Lost Judgment.
Oh my god.
All these different clubs are completely and utterly different from each other. So I'm having a great time, and I was like, it sucked for me because I finished the stream, and I felt bittersweet because I was like, man, that was a great stream, but I wish it was still going. I wish it wasn't over because I had so much fun playing the game. So I cannot wait. There will be another Lost Judgment stream coming up Tuesday night, and it's going to be a major part of the schedule moving forward.
I think he's going to play the GTA trilogy when it comes out with Definitive Edition. I will definitely play it, even though I'm not expecting much. I hope it's a proper remaster with decent graphics, but I don't think it's going to be. I think it's going to be just upscaled and artificially improved. But better shooting, definitely. These games need it.
Okay. Tomorrow, Monday, Far Cry 6 continues on the main stream.
Man, this is miserable. I wish I could skip
ahead. Tomorrow night is the return of Super Monkey Ball Banana Mania. Now, here's another one, right? Here's another game. I've only played it once in the
Oh
last
my
week.
god. Okay, I can't take this anymore. I'm officially making an executive decision to end this stream. Turns out that I can't do 2 consecutive days of handling DSP because this guy's just way too fucking toxic. I can't watch any more of this pre-stream. I'm sorry, you guys. Plus, I'm gonna go and have a nice evening, and I hope you do as well. If you like the stream, I don't know why you would, but we watched some DSP stuff and we had a little bit of fun, a fair share of fun. So if you like the stream, you can drop a like or go to all the social medias that are up there on top, and you can go and check them out. And that would be awesome. We also had some performance issue today, unlike some of the previous times. So I don't know. I don't know what this is, but yeah, this was just way too toxic for me. And I'll see you again when I see you again. Hope you had fun, and if you did, big ups.